it's time for us to come back and take that next step and enjoy football again. So yeah, I think it'll bring the town together, and fingers crossed we do it today.
Fingers crossed. Good to talk to you. There we are. Give us a shout.
Up the iron!
There we go. That's Scunthorpe United. He's looking calmer. The gentleman next to him was a bit nervous. He just spoke to us there. Up the iron, says that young Scunthorpe United fan. There's a couple of hugs. Ross Barrows just coming out. Another player not involved today, unfortunately. There's always those kind of stories as well. Cal Roberts was, of course, the big story going into this one, but there's always those disappointments for various different reasons. But one thing's for sure, everyone is together. John Schofield just hugging the other members of the staff as well. He's been there, seen it and done it in this game. As we get ready, we're not too far away now from the teams emerging from the tunnel. I can just look down and see the two mascots there, Scunny Bunny and Honey Bunny. I look down the tunnel and can see the players are getting themselves ready to come out. I'll just move out of the way to give the cameras the chance to get their shots as well. The flags have been waved, all the young Scunthorpe United supporters creating a line either side. I'll just duck back further so I don't lose an eye with one of the flags, but they're absolutely loving it down here. Again, smiles on those youngsters' faces. This is the moment, 90 minutes of football for these Scunthorpe United players to make a moment in the club's history. Again, we talk about it, the highs of what they've done before, as high as the championship and some of the games that we've seen here at Glanford Park. But right now, this is no less important than any of those visits, the wins against Newcastle United, the Wembley victories that this side have seen, as far as what it means for this football club, whether it's in the second tier or the sixth tier of English football. This is the moment for Scunthorpe United to once again, as I said it earlier, start to look up instead of looking down. The teams will be out shortly, James. I'll hand back to you. Come back to me if you want to when the teams come out. But yeah, it's all building. In fact, here we go. There are the mascots. Here are the officials. And here are the players. Scunthorpe United led out by captain Michael Clunan, Ross Fitzsimons behind him as well, and the rest of that Scunthorpe United starting 11. And just listen to that as those fans greet these players onto the pitch here.
Mike, thank you very much for that. It is some atmosphere as the two teams prepare to do their ceremonial last final moments before kick-off. This town has been front and centre of the national news in the last couple of months, for good and for bad reasons. The attention though switches to the football, and that history today is all about the Scunthorpe United football team, named after the steelworks not far away from here. Can there be more history to come in the club's 125th season and year? We'll find out right now. Commentary of Scunthorpe United in the National League North playoff final from Ollie Turner and Steve Torpey.
Thank you very much, James. It all comes down to this then. In this National League North playoff final, both sets of players are looking to write new chapters in Scunthorpe United and Chester's history, with both clubs looking for a first promotion in over a decade. We're only minutes, seconds away from kick-off. Let's run you through the two lineups to contest this winner-takes-all game at Glanford Park. We'll start with the hosts, Scunthorpe United, and the big news is that their talisman, Callum Roberts, is out, sidelined with a hamstring injury that he suffered in the playoff semi-final victory over Chorley over a fortnight ago. The man in form, Colton Ubazonu, replaces him. Ross Fitzsimons is the goalkeeper. The back four, Joe Starbuck, Maxime Coogan, Will Evans and Michael Kelly. The second bank of four, Colton Ubazonu and Tyler Denton on the flanks, Joe Rowley and captain Michael Clunan in the middle, and the two strikers, Danny Whitehall alongside Alfie Beeston. Jason Law comes in on the bench. Alongside him, Andrew Boyce, Mason Campbell, Sam Fishburn, Max Brogan, Kean Scales and Mo Federa. As for Chester, they've got Tom Pearce back, having missed the playoff semi-final victory at Kidderminster Harriers, where the Seals had to come from behind to win by 2-1. He replaces Kurt Willoughby, who drops to the bench. Jimmy Storer is their goalkeeper. The back four, Kevin Roberts, Tom Leake, Harrison Burke and Nathan Woodthorpe. In midfield, Declan Weeks, who wears the captain's armband today, Jack Bainbridge and Ewan Murray, Dylan Motley Henry and Connor Woods on the flanks, Tom Pearce, the lone striker, through the middle. The Chester substitutes, Connell Rawlinson, Kurt Willoughby, Jack Lambert, Alex Brown, Taylor O'Kane, Scott Burgess and Dan Mooney, as you can hear the roar from the home supporters as we're just seconds away from kick-off here at Glanford Park. Your referee this afternoon, Isaac Searle, his assistant Samuel Bragg and Joshua Bramall, the fourth official, Darius Bradley. The Iron will be attacking from left to right in this first half towards the south stand, which is jam-packed with Chester supporters. The Iron wearing their traditional claret and blue striped shirts, blue shorts with claret trim and blue socks. Chester shooting from right to left towards the Donny Road end. They're in their third kit. It's a very dark blue bordering on black, but they're all in that dark blue kit with a light blue trim. Joe Rowley is set to get us underway. Isaac Searle, a Kent FA official, promoted to the national group of referees in January to officiate Step 1 games. He blows his whistle and we're underway. Winner gets promoted to the National League next season. Scunthorpe United against Chester, and it's live right here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Every kick on all frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds on the website and the app, as the ball's hooked up into the air by Tyler Denton. It's a real scrap in midfield at the moment as Michael Clunan bundles over Ewan Murray, the diminutive midfielder. Free kick for Chester. Let's bring in your expert summariser, a two-time promotion winner with Scunthorpe United, Steve Torpey.
Afternoon, Ollie. Yeah, really excited. I think just the players now just need to get that first touch, secure the ball. Hopefully it's a positive start to the game individually and the collective, but yeah, one not for the faint-hearted.
Free kick then for Chester, just outside of the centre circle. The Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee Jimmy Storer will take it in a lilac goalkeeping kit, right-footed, strokes it forward over to the right-hand side of the field. Tyler Denton will bash that ball away. Alfie Beeston goes to contest for it, but Chester get it back through Bainbridge. Bainbridge keeps it at his feet, then shovels the ball back to Ewan Murray. Sliding tackle in there from Alfie Beeston, wins it cleanly. Now it's Joe Rowley, puts it into the channel for Colton Ubazonu to run onto. One-on-one with Tom Leake. Ubazonu gets it onto his left foot, skips past another challenge, but then loses the ball, and the Seals clear their lines. Now their counter-attack down the left. Here is Connor Woods, bursts past Ubazonu, still going just over the halfway line. Joe Starbuck is there with him as well. Woods back to Nathan Woodthorpe. And now it's going across defence from Tom Leake into Declan Weeks. Now it's Harrison Burke to Tom Leake, the Boston United loanee, and across to Harrison Burke. 13 goals for Burke from defence this season as he goes long from the right hand side of defence, finds Nathan Woodthorpe, who's pushed up from left back, surges into the D, shoots, and it's wide of the right hand post. First real chance goes Chester's way, 0-0.
Yeah, really good play down this left hand side. Woodthorpe just drove inside, had a shot with his right foot. Didn't get a great deal of power, but just went probably about 6-7 inches wide of Ross Fitzsimon's left hand side of his post. But yeah, that's probably the first half opportunity of the game, and we're just over 2 minutes into it.
Goal kick then. Ross Fitzsimons has lost in a playoff final with Chesterfield back in 2023 to Notts County. Pings that goal kick forward, headed on by Danny Whitehall and then Colton Ubazonu, but gives away the throw in, and it will be taken by Nathan Woodthorpe, who had that early opportunity. His dad Colin, assistant manager at Chester, will be in the dugout alongside the gaffer at the Seals, Callum McIntyre. And Nathan Woodthorpe ready to take the throw in, looks set to go down the line. Indeed he does, looking for Tom Pearce, tries to head that inside, but it's Scunthorpe United's ball with Alfie Beeston. He's kept it in play from the right hand touchline, driving forward, still going down that channel, crosses it into the penalty area, shouts of handball as Kevin Roberts brought it under control with his chest before clearing away, and it's brought under control inside the centre circle by Will Evans. The Iron keeping possession here. Michael Kelly into Tyler Denton, free. Lashes that over to the right hand side, brought under control by Colton Ubazonu on the edge of the penalty area as Joe Starbuck in support shoots and gets the corner, and there's another roar from the home supporters.
Yeah, and again, nice bit of confidence plays, nice reverse switch of the play about to Ubozano. Just tried to bring it on his left foot and deflected that for a corner, but a real good start from Scunthorpe, just starting to gain a little bit of territory in the first set piece.
No Callum Roberts, so it's going to be Tyler Denton to take the corner kick from the right hand side. A number of players in the 6-yard area as Denton goes short into Rowley inside the Chester box on his right foot, pulls it across to Denton, who shoots, and it's hammered wide, a bit further wide compared to Nathan Woodthorpe's effort earlier, but opportunities for both sides in the opening 5 minutes. 0-0.
Yeah, and we don't often see that. Normally you get the quality of Roberts either side and Clunan putting the balls in. This time there's a short one, caught Chester off guard a little bit, and Tyler Denton just had an opportunity from about 20 yards out and just screwed his shot with his left foot, just wide of the post. But yeah, nice kind of different type of play, and sometimes you've got to change things and mix it up to the norm just to catch this opposition out.
Jimmy Storer to take the goal kick then. Has only kept one clean sheet since March's defeat here to Scunthorpe United at Glanford Park. That 3-1 victory for the Iron on the club's community day, as here come Chester, but Connor Woods isn't able to keep the ball away from Joe Starbuck, stops that from going out for a corner and doesn't concede the throw in either, as his clearance sails out and the final touch is off of Tom Leake. Scunthorpe United throw 10 yards over the halfway line. Danny Whitehall takes it quickly into Carlton Ubozonu, one-on-one with Tom Leake, who's had to drift out wide to challenge. Ubozonu pulls it back to Joe Rowley. Now it's Michael Kelly, 5 yards outside of the centre circle, sweeps it over to the left to Tyler Denton. Now it's Will Evans in possession for Scunthorpe United, just over the halfway line, raking ball forward, looking for the run of Ubozonu, who gets there first, pulls it back from the byline. Beeston gets there first, Beeston with the shot, and he just can't bend his effort on target and try and find that bottom corner wide. 0-0.
Yeah, great bit of play, great reverse ball again, a diagonal pass to Ubozonu, just pulled it back. I don't know if that's what he meant, pulled it back to the edge of the box. Now Alfred Beeston just put onto his left foot. See what he tried to do, shape it with his left foot to the far corner, but just got it slightly wrong, and again went about 2 or 3 foot past. But real good signs for Scunthorpe.
Jimmy Storer with another goal kick in front of the Chester supporters, who have sold out their away allocation here at Glanford Park for this National League North playoff final. 0-0 live here on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, where we bring you every Iron game live. And Chester have a free kick here. It'll be taken by Kevin Roberts, the veteran defender. Started his career at the old Chester City before they were wound up in the High Court back in 2010. Returned several years later, and Roberts whips in the free kick. Kevin Roberts bounces once in the iron box and is collected by Ross Fitzsimons. Clatters it out quickly on the half volley, looking for the run of Ubozonu again. Woodthorpe has just about got enough on that clearance to put it out for a throw-in, and Ubozonu will leave it for Joe Starbuck to take. Joe Starbuck, I bet he can't quite believe that he's playing in a playoff final, having arrived so late on during the season. But he stands over this throw and waits for bodies to come up from the back in the form of Will Evans and Maxime Coogan. Ubozonu, Beeston and Whitehall all in the box as well. As Starbuck sits back on the advertising wall, goes along into the box towards the near post, header away or fall to Rowley. Now it's Starbuck again, needs support here as he takes Pears one-on-one, gets past the sliding challenge, but there's just enough contact on the ball for Weeks to be able to clear it away. The stand-in Chester captain with Rawlinson on the bench. Comes back to Fitzsimons. Long diagonal ball from right to left, header away. Who will it fall to? It's Joe Rowley who steams in there to nod it back to Michael Kelly, and the Iron immediately win the ball back, and it was just with Ross Fitzsimons again. Fitzsimons strokes out to the left hand side of defence to Will Evans, who's playing in his first ever playoff final of his career. Now it's Fitzsimons on the ball once more. Named the non-league papers goalkeeper of the year earlier this week at an award ceremony at Plough Lane. Long ball to the right, headed inside by Joe Starbuck. It's bouncing around in midfield at the moment. Clunan nods it on. Here's Whitehall, can't wrestle it away from Harrison Burke, and now Chester can enjoy possession. Kevin Roberts, now Burke. Burke thinks about playing it back to his goalkeeper, but instead spreads it across defence to Tom Leake, and now it's with left back Nathan Woodthorpe. Woodthorpe clips it forward. Pears goes to chase it down. Coogan tries to get there first, but Pears has got past him. Pears into the penalty area, keeps his footing, shoots, it's blocked by Joe Rowley. Evans hammers it away. Whitehall will go and chase it down, tries to put off Tom Leake, but he wins his header, bounces once. It's a challenge between Bainbridge and Ubazonu, and then Beast and Ghosts in there but can't keep the ball in play, out for a throw.
Yeah, he was unlucky, Piers there. I think he kind of just got the wrong side of Maxim Klugen and recovered well. Thought he could have maybe just gone down if he was, see all these Premiership players now, little nudges, but real honest from Piers, and he stayed on his feet and sort of Maxim Coogan recover, but a little bit of a dangerous situation there.
Throw for Chester, down the left again. Coogan heads it straight out of play, actually almost finds the nether regions of the fourth official, Darius Bradley, who had to jump out of the way of that header. Another throw in for Chester, only a couple of yards behind the halfway line, still on the left. Nathan Woodthorpe goes back to Declan Weeks, scored the winner in that playoff semi-final victory against his former club Kidderminster Harriers, and Chester don't keep possession for long. Throw in for the Iron, and it will be Joe Starbuck to take in front of the Chester boss Callum McIntyre. Starbuck assessing his options, goes forward down the right hand channel, it flies over the head of Danny Whitehall. Tom Leake will try and shepherd that out of play, and he's not been able to do so. He keels the ball dead on the byline, but the assistant referee was bang in line with that. And what have they awarded here? I think it's probably a free kick in the end, Steve.
Yeah, it must have been right on the byline there. Yeah, just in front of the byline. I think he was just pulling back. Ubazonu just pulled the defender back and committed the foul there. And the referee was in a good position. Referee system right with play as well.
10 minutes played here at Glanford Park. If you're just listening in on BBC Radio Humberside Sports, Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0 in this National League North playoff final. Chances apiece for both sides, but no goal as of yet. It's another throw for Scunthorpe United down the right through Joe Starbuck, headed straight back out of play by Tom Leake, so the Iron inch themselves further forward down that right wing. Starbuck again on throw-in duties, goes short to Ubazonu, who's lost it to Connor Woods. Woods almost runs into trouble. Rowley sliding in again, but wins the ball cleanly. Now Starbuck clips over the top. Leake with another header away, then it's nodded forward by Joe Rowley. Leake across the clear again. Rowley hammers it into the box. Burke watches it come down, heads it across his penalty area. Denton nods it forward. Perhaps would have been better suited to bring that under control. Chester hack it away. Now it's Ewan Murray. Picks it up just behind the halfway line, left of centre. Connor Woods looks up, tries to switch it from left to right, looking for the run of Dylan Motley Henry. Has he found him? No, he hasn't. Too much on that crossfield ball. Out for a throw. Michael Kelly over the throw. Of course, scored that wonder goal in the 3-1 victory over Chester back in March, his first since December 2023, which was winning a 5-1 win at Hereford last season. Funnily enough, the man in fluorescent yellow officiated that game at Edgar Street last season in Isaac Searle. As the Iron have got themselves a free kick midway inside their own half, left of centre. It'll be left to Michael Kelly to take. Just rolling the ball out into position, and will go short. Back into the heart of defence with Will Evans. Plays it across to his centre-back partner, Maxine Coogan. And here is Will Evans on the ball again. Looks up, right-footed, long, sweeping ball forward into that left-hand channel. Kevin Roberts with the first header away, who will get onto the second ball. It's Chester here with Bainbridge. Bainbridge over the halfway line, tries to slip that in behind. Would have been a nice idea. Importantly cut out by Scunthorpe United. Bobbling around in midfield. It's looped over the top by Clunan. No one making the run down that left-hand side, and it will trickle out for a goal kick to Chester.
Yeah, Will Evans just made the right decision because it paid off, but if that ball got him behind down that kind of Chester's left-hand side, didn't look like he was in. Dylan Motley Henry, I know Dylan, he was on a course with me not so long ago, so I know Dylan quite well, and obviously doing really well and scored one of the goals against Kidderminster. And I actually had a look at the footage of that, and it was quite an easy tap-in if you managed to see it, Ollie.
I've seen the winner, I didn't see the equaliser from him.
Yeah, it was a tap-in, but you've got to be in the right place at the right time.
Interestingly, another Scunthorpe connection to Dylan Motley Henry, who's coached by Paul Harsley during his time with Barnsley's under-23s. Throw for the Iron, down the left with Michael Kelly. Kelly thinks about going short to his captain. but instead goes down the line, looking for Danny Whitehall, who brings it under control, stabs that in field, but no one in a claret and blue shirt able to get on the end of it. Shouts of handball, but play continues as it's clipped over the top by Declan Weeks. Evans is there first, can't play it back to his goalkeeper, Ross Fitzsimons, clears away, but Chester have it straight back with Motley Henry. Shields the ball away from his marker Michael Kelly, but then it's lost by Kevin Roberts, and Tyler Denton will drive it forward, cuts that pass into Danny Whitehall, holds it up, beasting, looped over the top, too much on it. Carlton Ubazonu offside anyway, as he was having his arm pulled by Nathan Woodthorpe. Free kick to Chester.
Yeah, good bit of play. It's kind of that up, back, through again. Nice little link-up play from Danny Whitehall's not really been involved too much as of yet, but good little bit of link-up play for him.
Ball chested down by Harrison Burke, hits it forward on the half volley. Michael Kelly has fluffed that one, but Dylan Motley Henry couldn't really show the composure to play the through ball in behind the iron back line, but he charges down Michael Kelly's clearance and puts it out for a goal kick. Steve Torpey, just wondering what you think of the formation at the moment. 4-4-2 as expected, sometimes shifting in between 4-2-4 and 4-3-3.
Yeah, like you said, Ollie, you spot on. Obazono just down this right hand side. I think he's just pretty unnatural position for him to play, because Roberts has played enough of every game and 90 minutes of each game. So it may take a little bit of time for him to get used to that role, but he's drifting inside, looking for Starbuck to kind of overlap as well, and that's vice versa on the other side. That interchange of positions where it's been fluid throughout the season. Sometimes we've gone, where's they playing, but when the ball breaks down, they always revert back into that kind of 4-4-2 formation. But yeah, just want to see if he can link up with Danny Whitehall a little bit more. He hasn't got the flair of Callum Roberts, we understand that, but he's still got the kind of speed and the power to get past the fullbacks.
Quarter of an hour gone on BBC Radio Humberside Sports. Still awaiting the opening goal of this National League North playoff final between Scunthorpe United and Chester. The visitors have a throw, and it's going to be Kevin Roberts, the 35-year-old, to take. Interesting comments from him on BBC Radio Merseyside this week, saying that the 3-1 win here for Scunthorpe United was, to quote him, quite flattering back in March against Chester, as the Seals win a free kick from that Kevin Roberts throw. Also said that the Iron would feel the pressure given it's on them in this game.
Just with that, Kelly, he's done two of those where he's putting his hands out. It's a blatant shove in the back. He just needs to be careful. He's inviting balls into the box, and sometimes you've just got to hold your hands down by your side and challenge and put your chest rather than shove them. Blatantly obvious, that one from Kelly. He needs to be careful.
First real attacking set piece from a Chester point of view. The Iron trying to hold a defensive line just on the edge of their own area behind the D. Declan Weeks over the free kick then from the right hand touchline. It's a one-man wall of Tyler Denton, Tom Leake, Jack Bainbridge, Harrison Burke, Dylan Motley Henry, Tom Pears all watching on from the edge of the penalty area. Weeks, right footed, swings it into the box. Ross Fitzsimons has missed it, bouncing around in there. Bainbridge with the shot, it's blocked. Leake with the header on, falls to Dylan Motley Henry. Overhead kick, ricochets over the crossbar. Final touch came off Joe Rowley, it's out for a corner.
Yeah, he got blocked, didn't he, Fitzsimons? You can see he's looking at the flight of the ball. He suddenly got blocked, and therefore he couldn't get off the ground. And a little bit fortunate that there, the Motley Emery kind of improvisation, tried to bicycle kick over his head and deflected for a corner. But second real opportunity for Chester. So just need to be strong and defend this, and should get the referee on side as well. Make sure the referee does notice those blocks, because that could become really vital in these situations.
Weeks from the right hand side, it'll be an out swinging corner kick on his right foot, holds his left arm up into the air, but as the referee blown his whistle, he has, I think he will pull play back here, because he wants to have a word with Joe Starbuck and Dylan Motley Henry, much to the bemusement of the Donny Road end behind the goal to our left hand side. And it's just a talking to between the pair. Chester keeping Tom Leake and Harrison Burke up from the back. Jack Bainbridge is lined up behind those two, along with Dylan Motley Henry. Tom Pears in the 6-yard area as well. Ewan Murray and Connor Woods watching on from the edge of the D. Weeks gets a second chance at this corner kick then. Right footed, it is an outswinger. Bainbridge with the header, balloons it over the crossbar.
Yeah, again, it's that kind of bus stop, weren't it, that we've known when England was in the World Cup, I think it was. And he got an opportunity there, just directed his header slightly over the crossbar. Got to be mindful of that.
The Iron have gone quickly from their own goal kick, and they've won a throw-in high at the park as Andy Butler applauds his goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons for that quick bit of thinking, and he also gets a round of applause as well from assistant John Schofield, who celebrated his 60th birthday on Friday. Joe Starbuck over the throw, then jogs back to the right-hand touchline. Scunthorpe United sending bodies forward again then. Maxime Coogan and Will Evans up from defence once more. Starbuck throws it in, rifles it into the box. Beeston flicks it on Clunan, hits the post, rebound, and it's in! Danny Whitehall puts Scunthorpe United in front in this National League North playoff final. The Iron draw first blood, and Danny Whitehall, his father played for Chester City, but he's producing the heroics for Scunthorpe United this afternoon. Lightning quick reaction on the rebound after Michael Clunan's half volley cannoned off the post, and Whitehall was there to tuck it home to give Scunthorpe United the all-important first goal in this National League North playoff final. The Iron lead Chester by 1-0 in the 20th minute.
Yeah, and he'll come from the throw-ins. Starbuck kind of flat throw-in, caught Chester off guard again. Little flick on, went back out, come back across. Clunan hit the post. I thought he was going in just inside the post, and just nice composed finish from Danny Whitehall. Just guided it in with the side of his foot. Scunthorpe 1-0. Fantastic. And you would say that they deserved that. Over the general play, they've kind of dominated possession and created the better chances.
Let's not forget, Steve, the quick thinking from Ross Fitzsimons as well from the goal kick that led to that throw which produced the goal.
Yeah, and I was going to say that it's not just his clean sheets, that's why he's got goalkeeper of the season in this league. It's because of his distribution. It is excellent, and you know, the modern goalkeeper needs to have that in his locker, and he has got that in abundance. He's got left, right side. He's got the full quota of those clubs within his armoury.
Free kick for Scunthorpe United. 20 minutes played, and the Iron ahead in this National League North playoff final. 1-0 up at home to Chester. Coming live from Glanford Park here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Ross Fitzsimons strokes it forward, right-footed, as they are waving physios on. I believe there's been a medical emergency in the Donny Road end to our left-hand side, so the physios immediately running on and going into that stand behind the goal to our left-hand side. That's led to a delay in play here, so both sets of players come across to the technical areas and the dugouts to get drinks on board, as you can hear what the fans think of the delay to physios eventually being able to come onto the field of play to then enter the Donny Road end to our left-hand side. I can't quite see where they've disappeared to in the end.
Yeah, I think they're about, if you're looking at the front of the stand, they're probably about 3 or 4 rows back. Maybe it's just a surge when Scunthorpe scored the goal that calls. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and they can yeah, it looks like they're walking back out.
Let's quickly go down pitch side with Mike White.
Yeah, I'm away from that particular situation, but just turned around when that goal went in, and the fans, that fan that I spoke to who said he was nervous and everything beforehand, we've got a great picture of him. You'll maybe see it on our social media. He was absolutely ecstatic when that went in. As you guys said, you could feel it starting to build for Scunthorpe United, and finally that ball in. And as you said, it all came from Ross Fitzsimons with his quick thinking as well. But the fans here, that's just relaxed things a little bit and settled everyone down. But yeah, great start for the Iron.
We're about to get underway. Sam Fishburn has been over to the Donny Road end to collect the physio's kit and what have you, and they are just now coming down the touchline, the 2 sets of physios. I think I'm told that it may have happened, this particular incident, before the goal, but not quite sure. But it looks like it's been dealt with, and hopefully everything is okay behind the goal to our left-hand side. It's going to be a free kick for Scunthorpe United, left of centre, inside their own half, with Ross Fitzsimons, diagonal from left to right, looking for Whitehall, flies over everyone's head. Whitehall's claiming that Leake got a whisker of a touch on that, but he definitely didn't. It's a Chester throw. Nathan Woodthorpe is having to jog behind the dead ball line to collect the ball, having been delayed, having had his momentum stalled, I believe, perhaps by one of the ball boys down the touchline. And Nathan Woodthorpe ready to take the throw in. Goes down the channel on the left. Coogan with a booming header away. It comes to Woodthorpe again, who hooks it forward. The loose ball drops to Tyler Denton, shovels it forward first time. Burke with the clearance away, and then it's further slashed clear up towards the halfway line by Ewan Murray, bouncing around in midfield at the moment. And here is Murray into Pears, one-on-one with Maxine Coogan down the left-hand side. Iron players tracking back in support. Still Pears, edge of the penalty area, fires in the cross, blocked by Coogan. Comes back out to Connor Woods here. Woods, couple of step overs from him, gets it onto his right foot, pulls it back to Ewan Murray, 20 yards from goal. He's almost robbed by Alfie Beeston, but keeps his feet. Drives it back out wide to Woods, delivers the cross. Clunan with the clearance away, the Scunthorpe United skipper. Danny Whitehall will go and chase it down, and Colton Ubasonu has fouled Nathan Woodthorpe there, far too eager to try and win that loose ball from behind. Chester free kick.
Yeah, just done well. The Chester midfield player just sucked him in a bit and just committed the foul. He was a bit overzealous with his challenge, but hey, you wouldn't mind that. A bit of keenness and wanting to press and close the ball down, but just committed the foul.
Scunthorpe United at the moment with bodies behind the ball, all 10 outfield players behind the ball at the moment, as Chester have possession. Ewan Murray, the academy graduate, back to Tom Leake on halfway. Now here's Harrison Burke on the edge of the centre circle, right of centre, plays it back across to his centre half partner Tom Leake. Leake into Burke once more as Scunthorpe United frustrate. Kevin Roberts into Leake, left of centre, still inside their own half at the moment, Chester, as Leake trots over the halfway line. Now it's Bainbridge, pressed immediately as he gets the ball inside the iron half, and Chester are forced backwards. Bainbridge once more, now it's Murray, left-hand side, about 15 yards inside the Scunthorpe United half, checks backwards to Declan Weeks. Now here's Tom Leake. The visitors remaining patient. Weeks, back to Leake. Now Harrison Burke. Probably only 15 yards in front of his own penalty area now, and Burke decides he's had enough of the short passing. He goes long, looking for the late run of Woodthorpe, who just can't get on the end of it. Hauled off of it by Colton Ubasonu, and Joe Starbuck clears. Alfie Beeston will go and chase it down, but Scunthorpe United have dropped awfully deep during that last passage of play. Storer, the Chester goalkeeper, lumps the ball up into the air, doesn't get much distance on it. It's headed back towards the Seals box by Joe Rowley, and then it nodded back to Jimmy Storer by the visitors' defence.
Yeah, I think Scunthorpe would be quite happy. They're kind of playing laterally, forwards and backwards, then went a little bit longer, so hey, they're not hurting Scunthorpe as long as they stay on that high line and move up together as a unit.
Let's get a quick update pitch side from Mike White.
I'll leave it for you. Well, Carlton Ubasonu offside, so it's okay. We've got just an update on the fan. The fan's okay. Actually came via Andy Butler. I was trying to get the attention of the medical team who were going to keep me up to date with any injuries or anything, Kieran and Rosie, but it was Andy Butler who took a few seconds to let me know that the fan's okay. Was just feeling a bit dizzy. It looks like the occasion's getting to everyone at the moment, Ollie.
Good to hear. Mike White, pitch side for you at Glanford Park, live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. We'll get more updates from him throughout this game, but the most important thing is the scoreline, and the Iron are 1-0 up here against Chester in the National League North playoff final. Seals still have the ball with Jimmy Storer inside his own D, lofted forward, right-footed, aiming for Tom Pears, who holds it up away from Will Evans and wriggles free of his man. Michael Clunan tracking back to defend, but has fouled Pears, and it's another Chester free kick.
Yeah, strong lad Pears, just linked the play up nice first touch. Will Evans tried to get around him and was all over him really, and it was a foul, but yeah, I like Pears. He's your typical number 9, kind of aggressive, strong lad, quite low centre of gravity, and decent first touch.
Tom Pears, in his second spell with Chester, has made both of his debuts for the Seals against clubs nicknamed the Iron. His first came in 2013 against Braintree Town, his second in 2023 against Scunthorpe United. And he's lining up to attack this free kick, which will be taken again by Declan Weeks. Right of centre, probably midway inside the Scunthorpe United half. Isaac Seal has a word, and he will again delay this free kick being taken because he's spotted Danny Whitehall perhaps getting up to a bit of trouble alongside Jack Bainbridge. as the two slot back into their positions as Danny Whitehall gives Bainbridge a hefty shove. Whistle blows. Weeks curls in the free kick towards the back post. Whitehall is there. It bounces out of the Scunthorpe United box. Tom Leake is there, and Whitehall, oh, that's a proper challenge, that is, but he got every bit of the ball, and it's out for a throw.
Yeah, and that he's got a big bandage over his knee, or strapping over his knee, and that would have put his through the test, and he's come out with flying colours.
From the throw then, Connor Woods tries to get past Joe Starbuck, but Joe Starbuck onto the loose ball from the dead ball line, and he's bundled over by Connor Woods. Free kick to Scunthorpe United. Yeah,
you've got to say he's done really well, Joe Starbuck, coming in, you know, in a kind of a situation where he found himself without a club. He was training with Scunthorpe for a fair few weeks, if not months, before he got his opportunity. He was on the training camp, the PFA training camp in the summer, so it was nice to see him. And the guys on that, I was asking how he was doing. I said he was not quite in the team, and all of a sudden he's had this great run and he's performed really consistently. So Andy Butler would be delighted with that signing.
Fitzsimons, right-footed free kick. Who's that come off of last? It's come off of Jack Bainbridge last. Goes out for a throw to Scunthorpe United. Starbuck takes it quickly, hurls it into the Chester penalty area. Ubazonu is barged away from the ball by Nathan Woodthorpe and his left shoulder, and the ball will bounce out for a goal kick as we hit the half-hour mark at Glanford Park. Thank you for listening here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United and Chester playing for a place in the National League next season, and at the moment it's Danny Whitehall's 20th minute goal which separates the two sides. The Iron 1-0 up here in the National League North playoff final. From the goal kick, Will Evans heads it back into the Chester half. Danny Whitehall's got him behind his man Harrison Burke. Can he bring it under control? No, he can't. The Iron will try and get onto that loose second ball. They're scrapping for it, and they have won it back through Tyler Denton. Joe Rowley, first time pass into Denton again. It's so scrappy and rushed in that midfield area as Michael Clunan has gone in late on Declan Weeks, who stayed down. And Chester players aren't happy about that. It was a 50-50 ball. Referee's got a decision to make here. Walks over to the captain, Michael Clunan. Weeks has stayed down, the opposite skipper. And Isaac Searle checking that Declan Weeks is okay, who will now get back up onto his feet. Referee trying to get a bit of separation here from himself and the rest of the players as he calls Michael Clunan over. Kevin Roberts is there as well. There's a balloon pops somewhere beneath me here in the main west stand. Big decision. Isaac Searle has gone to his notebook, and I think it is just a yellow card for the Scunthorpe United skipper.
Yeah, I know we're a little bit of a distance away, but it looked like he slid in, and they've done really well with Joe Rowley, throughout the game. Really aggressive in their approach, really pressing, and in my eyes, he got the ball and just followed through and caught his ankle. I thought it was a little bit harsh to get a yellow card, but they are doing really well. They're ratting in there, in and out of possession, trying to win the first balls, and definitely putting themselves about for those second balls, really dominating that midfield area.
Jimmy Storer over the free kick, right-footed, hoists it towards the Iron penalty area. Nice little deft back heel there from Tom Pears. Connor Woods chases it down, but Joe Starbuck again there first, and he's won the throw-in for his side. He's told by the referee to not take too much yardage, to not take the Michael with how far he runs down the line for this throw. Balloons off the forehead of Danny Whitehall. Michael Clunan gets a barge in the back from the Chester captain Declan Weeks, and it's now a Scunthorpe United free kick.
Yeah, just anticipated, didn't he, Clunan there? Just knew where the ball was going to end up. Just got that kind of foot in front of the midfield player, and an obvious foul, but real doing a real good job, those two in midfield. Real kind of ratting performance, like I say, and on their front foot, definitely this game.
Scunthorpe United players have drifted over to the left-hand side of the Chester half to attack this free kick, which is launched forward by Ross Fitzsimons. Will bounce out wide to Tyler Denton. Denton stands up the cross towards the back post. Evans goes to attack it, and then Whitehall with the latest header balloons up into the air. It'll be punched away by Jimmy Story. Perhaps could have caught that. Further hooked out by Ewan Murray, but Scunthorpe United will keep possession alive inside the Chester half. Ubazonu one-on-one with Murray down the right, fires in the cross. Bainbridge sweeps away the clearance, comes out to Michael Kelly, urged to shoot, too far away from goal. so switches it to the left. 1-2 between him and Tyler Denton. Kelly crosses in from deep. Alfie Beeston is not able to bring that under control. I think the flag may have gone up anyway, out for a Chester goal kick.
Yeah, unlucky. Their intent is clear. They're putting balls in the box, causing Chester real trouble there. So the goalkeeper's come out, could have caught it, but looked a little bit nervous and decided to punch it. Right decision, went to the edge of the box, but quite a sustained bit of pressure there for Scunthorpe.
Jimmy Storer, another right-footed goal kick from him. Evans watches that come down, makes contact, heads it up into the air, then another header from Joe Rowley. It's bouncing around inside the centre circle at the moment. Collision between Alfie Beeston and Jack Bainbridge, but Beeston is the quicker of the two to get up onto his feet and gets the iron on the attack. Ubazonu almost dispossessed by Tom Pearce. The loose ball drops to Joe Starbuck, whips in across towards a near post, which is claimed by Jimmy Storer. Storer then looks over both of his shoulders to see if there's anyone behind him. Andy Butler at the moment telling his side to be a bit more compact at the moment, try and make things narrower out of possession. As the ball's back with the Chester goalkeeper Storer again, clears it out from his own box, looking for Dylan Motley-Henry. It flies over his head. Will Evans will cover, just lumps that up into the grey afternoon sky. Kevin Roberts with the header over the halfway line. Now it's Dylan Motley-Henry for Chester. Kevin Roberts again, funnelled forward down the flank, but it will trickle out for a Scunthorpe United throw with 10 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. Scunthorpe United still in front by 1-0 here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
And you've got to say that Scunthorpe have been on their front foot. I don't know if this is, they've worked on this throughout the 2 weeks that they've had before this game. And they are on their front foot. They're pressing. They've not given Chester any real time on the ball, and therefore their decision making, their quality on the passes have been really lacking. Chester been really quite disappointing, really, but in a good way for Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe United have got a free kick here. It was an optimistic ball forward, and Tyler Denton went to chase it down, and he's caught a stray elbow from Harrison Burke. His view of it was clear as day. Awards a free kick in the Irons' favour. About 5-10 yards over the halfway line, left of centre. Michael Clunan talks to Isaac Searle about that particular decision. Tyler Denton is okay to continue, didn't need any treatment from the physios. And so another chance for Scunthorpe United to, try and bombard the Chester box, but they are holding an awfully high line here. A good 10-15 yards outside their own penalty area, but then they start drifting backwards as Clunan drives in the free kick. Header away by Tom Leake, who will get onto the loose ball first. It's Dylan Motley-Henry who's forced back towards the corner flag. Leake will clear away by the dead ball line. Header up into the air by Michael Kelly as he's pushing and shoving with Ewan Murray. Pings that into the penalty area, but Kevin Roberts will allow that to bounce out for a goal kick. Jimmy Storer collects the ball and will place it down on the right hand side of his 6-yard area.
I was going to say, Ollie, do you know Andy Butler? Did you recognise Andy Butler wears the same stuff like for each game? Is that a superstition? Have you asked him that, or are you not a fashion?
I haven't asked him that. I was wondering if you were someone in the YouTube comments of the club's own post-match interviews who said, why does he wear the same clothes every game? No, I've not thought to ask him, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, no. Partly because you could direct the same criticism at me for most Scunthorpe United games, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I know your wardrobe. You're limited.
For work attire. You've not seen my social attire yet, Steve.
No, he just wears that kind of beigey top, like figure rugging. He's got a good body in here, and he looks like he obviously takes care of himself doing marathons, but I don't know, I just noticed he never used to wear the same top all the time. And then I think since the good run of results, he seems to be wearing that outfit quite regularly.
He did change for, I don't want this commentary to descend into fashion chat, but he did wear white polo with sand chinos and white trainers in the win at home to Spennymoor Town last month, as Scunthorpe United go long from their own free kick, trying to catch Chester out, but Alfie Beeston not timing his run, caught offside, and it'll be a Chester free kick. Are you done with the
I'm done with the
fashion
now, fashion, please.
Oh dear, you wouldn't know this is a playoff final if you have been listening for the last 1 minute to 90 seconds. But we are bringing you a big game here from Glanford Park, live on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Chester free kick. They go towards the right, and Dylan Motley-Henry is fouled by Michael Kelly, who I think maybe is just showing a touch of uncertainty when defending those long balls down his side of the channel. Will Evans able to head that away, but Kelly gives away the free kick.
Yeah, and it's about the third or fourth, so he'll be on his last warning here from the referee, and any more he'd be, I think, shown a yellow card, so he needs to be a little bit careful, especially as a defender. Closer
to goal here from a Chester perspective. Out of all the dead ball deliveries they've had in terms of free kicks from that side of the field, Tyler Denton, the one-man wall, now back in his own penalty area. Leake, Motley-Henry, Burke, Bainbridge all lined up on the edge of the penalty area to attack this. Pears, Woods and Murray there as well. Weeks, right-footed, swings it in. Much more confident goalkeeping from Ross Fitzsimons. Claims that immediately is near post. Decides to let everyone leave his penalty area first before rolling it out to Joe Starbuck on the right-hand side of defence. Starbuck goes long, looking for Danny Whitehall. Flicks it on nicely. Here is Tyler Denton. Immediately, though, the flag goes up for offside. The arms are up and straight away from the Chester defenders. And the assistant referee on this near side, Samuel Bragg, agrees. Chester free kick.
Yeah, it's happened a few times now. Either Ubazon, who's gone a little bit early, Tyler Denton there just didn't read the situation. Good defending, you got to say that from the Chester back four, but just get that time right, just the delay you run, just that split second, and then all of a sudden you've got that opportunity to see 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
5 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half. Scunthorpe United have some defending to do. As I say that, it's hammered away by Joe Starbuck into the Chester half. Headed across the halfway line by Carlton Ubazonu. Here's Tyler Denton, hooks it forward down the left-hand flank. Harrison Burke is there first. Under little pressure, clears away. Evans with the header over the halfway line, and then Denton. Leak lumps that skywards. Evans watches it come down, misses his header, but Coogan covers and clears, and Kevin Roberts, well, quite leisurely was letting that bounce out of play. Tyler Denton fainted to chase it down, which gave Roberts the hurry up, but it is a Chester throw as Callum McIntyre checks his watch beneath us in the Chester technical area. The club's former academy manager prior to being appointed as boss in 2022. Ball in midfield as Alfie Beeston is clattered into, gets the free kick for his side. Just behind the halfway line, left of centre. It's actually bang on the halfway line now, just a touch over it in actual fact, as Michael Clunan keeps prodding the ball forward. Left of centre, Coogan and Evans are going up for this one, as Chester try and hold a high line again, defending this latest set piece. Clunan given the whistle by the referee, right-footed, strokes out into the Chester box, header in there, clearance away by Kevin Roberts, bit of shin, bit of knee on that ball, but he's got enough distance on it to get it out for a throw, and the throw, the referee's going to stop Joe Starbuck from taking it, just wants to check that Will Evans is okay. He looks a bit winded, hands on his knees at the moment as he saunters back into the Chester box. Long throw opportunity again for the Iron. They conjured up their first goal from a long throw back in the 20th minute. What can they do here? Starbuck, in it goes, header behind by Harrison Burke, out for a corner.
Yeah, so it's Starbuck's kind of throw. It's not a massive throw, is it? It's kind of, it looks like everyone's gonna bomb into like in and around the penalty spot, but it's quite short to be fair. But the trajectory of it is quite flat, and sometimes it's hard to defend that. And so Chester just had to put it out for a corner. It's definitely a weapon and something that's Scunthorpe utilised really well this first half.
Interestingly, Tyler Denton took the first corner kick from the right-hand side, left-footed. Now it's going to be the captain, Michael Clunan, over this one, right-footed, as the player's gone down inside the 6-yard area. From a Chester perspective, I think it's Kevin Roberts who's not happy about that, and he'll be called over to the referee along with, guess who, Danny Whitehall. Just words for the pair. I think Danny Whitehall's perhaps being given a bit of a warning here, having got into a bit of a pushing and shoving match with Jack Bainbridge when defending a free kick earlier in this first half. Very long conversation, which is swiftly ended, but then it's kicked off again and someone else has gone down off the ball, and it's in an altercation with Carlton Ubazonu.
He's got to be careful, Ubazonu there. It looked for me that he's just kicked out. Hopefully the referee's not seen that.
Yellow card for Colton Ubazonu.
Oh, that could have quite easily been a red card. Just kicked out. You're going to get that. You're going to get people pulling, shoving, holding you. That's part of the game. But to react like that was a little bit silly from Ubazonu. A cheap free kick there. Sorry, a cheap booking. Sorry.
Scunthorpe United need to keep their heads here. They still have the corner kick as we head towards the final minutes of normal time. Michael Clunan still waiting to take it from the right hand corner flag, waiting for the referee signal, and still we wait. Not quite sure what the delay is here. The referee doesn't want any pushing or shoving at all before this free kick comes in. This is getting quite farcical at this point. There the whistle goes. Clunan, right-footed, drives in the free kick towards the back post. Whitehall with the header saved, tries to fire in the rebound but is blocked, and Chester clear it away. Starbuck pushes the ball forward, but it's picked up by Tom Pears. He flicks that over the top on the half volley, way too much on it, and it'll be collected by Ross Fitzsimons in his own box.
Yeah, just need to calm it down, catch her at breath now, and just go over this first 45 minutes. It'd probably be a bit of added time with the spectator going down with an incident. So imagine at least 3 or 4 minutes. So still maybe 5 minutes to play this first half.
Fitzsimons, 4 minutes of additional time, a minimum of, awarded by the fourth official Darius Bradley. Ubazonu keeps his attack alive, beasting with the cross from the right edge of the penalty area, blocked from a Chester perspective. Pears goes down under pressure from Maxime Coogan. No free kick given. The iron come again as they look for a second just before the half-time whistle. Kelly dinked over the top down the left-hand side. Clunan is the latest player to fall to the floor. Felt there was contact made by Ewan Murray. Nothing given. Chester goal kick.
Yeah, it looked like he did go down, Clunan a little bit too easy there. The referee was in a fantastic position to see it. He just waved the play on, and pretty rightly so.
Goal kick. Storer, right-footed, sends that into the Scunthorpe United half and sends that straight out of play for a throw into the iron. The Republic of Ireland under-19 international gifts the throw in to Scunthorpe United. 1 minute of the 4 played at the end of this first half in terms of additional time. Kelly with the throw down the left-hand flank. The loose ball will be picked up by Alfie Beeston over on the far side. Beeston cuts it infield to Tyler Denton for inside the penalty area. Pulls it back to Michael Clunan. Shoots, it's blocked. He's just waiting for the ball to roll across his body. Dinked back into the box by Danny Whitehall. Header away by Tom Lee, Nathan Woodthorpe rather. But Ubazonu will pick it up as he won the corner kick in. No, he hasn't. He gets the final touch and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, just a little bit scruffy. Just wanted something to fall. Just kind of reverse angle ball into Ubazonu. Just went out for a goal kick. But most of the play, you've got to say, is in Scunthorpe's attacking half of the pitch throughout this first half. And they look the team who are on the front foot, a little bit more aggressive in their play. And that's from number 1 to number 11. They've been really on it. And Scunthorpe, they've done that over the last 3 or 4 games. To say the tempo and the aggression has definitely been there, and it's helped definitely this afternoon.
Bit of head tennis taking place in midfield at the moment. It's eventually brought down by Michael Kelly. Hits that clear on the half volley. Tyler Denton tries to hold it up, but Declan Weeks will recover possession for Chester. Looped into the iron half by Harrison Burke. It'll fall to Maxime Coogan, who clears it away. Then there's a stooping header into the centre circle by Michael Clunan. Chester back on the ball here with Bainbridge. Bainbridge finds Woodthorpe free down the left-hand side, attacking his man Joe Rowley. Tries to fire in the cross from deep. Rowley stands firm, blocks out for a throw, which is taken quickly. Ewan Murray back to Woodthorpe. First time cross towards the back post. Motley Henry heads it up into the air. Doesn't quite bounce out. Scunthorpe United still have some defending to do here, and they've managed to force Motley Henry to put the ball out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it was a tough one for Dylan Motley Henry to get on. It was an out-swinging, kind of lofted ball into the far post, just slightly too high for him. Kelly slipped, but made up the ground and ended up being a nice little settled down goal kick for Scunthorpe. Can they see this out now? Probably just over a minute to play this first half, but yeah, real positive first half for Scunthorpe. just had a little bit of play, haven't they? But not really created too much.
I don't think they've had an opportunity since Jack Bainbridge ballooned a header over from a free kick. That actually led, in the end, to the Scunthorpe United opening goal, thanks to Ross Fitzsimon's quick goal kick from it. 20 seconds left of additional time to go, out of the minimum of 4 minutes added on, as Carlton Ubazonu takes the ball to the right-hand corner flag, waits for support, finds Alfie Beeston just outside of the box, feints to cross, then rolls into the path of Joe Starbuck, but just not enough on that pass, and it allows Connor Woods to shepherd it behind for a goal kick to the visitors. And there is the half-time whistle. Scunthorpe United at the moment heading for the National League. They lead Chester by 1-0 here at Glanford Park in this National League North playoff final. Danny Whitehall with the opening goal of this game. A flat throw from Joe Starbuck, rifled in from the right hand side. The ball bounced out to Michael Clunan, who fired a shot towards goal on the half volley. It cannoned off the post, and Danny Whitehall was there to tuck home the rebound into the bottom right hand corner. Big 45 minutes or so coming up to decide who will be playing National League football next season. But crucially, it's the Iron who have that all-important opening first goal. They lead Chester by 1-0. Steve Torpy.
Yeah, I'd say they deserve it. They've played really well. I like the aggression and their front-footedness. They've done that throughout the last month or so and had success with it. Andy Butler's reinforced that message, and they've definitely done it the first half and thoroughly deserved the 1-0 lead.
Second half commentary to come on all BBC Radio Humberside frequencies. We're also available online if for whatever reason you need to go out on this Sunday afternoon. You can listen to us via BBC Sounds on the website and on the app. Half time in the National League North playoff final here at Glanford Park. It's Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 0.
Well, so far so good at half-time here at Glanford Park. The script is written for a promotion party as things stand come full-time at 6 o'clock. Let's head pitch-side. Mike White is there now. He's caught the action at the same level as many of the fans have done this afternoon. Mike, how's the feeling? It was nervous before the game. What is it like now?
Yeah, a little bit more relaxed, obviously not taking anything for granted, but I just had a very quick word there with Paul Musselwhite, who just said that they're relatively happy and comfortable with what they've done in that first half. Certainly not comfortable that the job's done. I asked him as well, just a quick word about Carlton Ubazonu, and I think the general feeling is that Carlton's a little bit lucky in a game like this, especially to even give the referee a decision to have to make like that. There certainly was a little bit of a kick out there from the Iron winger, so he maybe can count himself a little bit fortunate that it was just a yellow card. But yeah, generally positive. I'm gonna do a bit of acrobatics here. I'm gonna climb over the wall, and then I'm gonna climb over a couple of I'll climb over a couple of chairs as well, because I'm going to talk to someone who knows a thing or two about promotion with Scunthorpe United. It's really good to see. Former Iron defender Niall Canavan. Naz, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Very well. Hopefully they can still hear me. I'm cutting out of my headphones, but hopefully they can hear you. What do you make of that first half?
Obviously going in front fairly early, that's a good start in a big game, and then I think in general control the pace of the play, like limit them to pretty little, to be honest, and hopefully now, attacking the fans there, we can push it home.
Yeah, big moment. I just spoke to Paul Musselwhite, and I think the general feeling is Carlton Ubazonu could maybe count himself a bit fortunate to only be booked. What was your take on that?
Yeah, from where I am, I think I saw him lash out in a way, but it's up to the referee. If he deems it a yellow, then we've maybe got away with one.
You can't give referees a decision like that in games like this, can you?
No, you don't want to give your opposition a leg up at any point. Certainly not in a massive game like this. So I'm sure that's been marked if Muzzy's mentioned it to you. So there'll be under no illusions in there that he's got to get himself in order and sort it out for the rest of the game.
What's it like coming back to your old club? You got the kids here as well?
Yeah. So the few people that I've bumped into, I've said. Obviously, I'm normally playing myself, and I've been back as a player on the other team, but I've never been able to come back as a fan, or certainly not with the kids. So now they're old enough to understand it. It's nice to show them around where it all started for me. So it's Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's been a little bit emotional at times, which I didn't expect. But
I was going to ask that, what's that feeling like? Because you've still got that connection clearly to the club.
Yeah, like you never lose that, and I'm still in touch with so many people from here and people I played with, and I saw Cliffy earlier outside, and it's you never forget that. You don't forget your roots and where you've come from. So it's nice to show my kids that you always start somewhere, and it's important not to forget that, and you keep that respect and that love for where you've come from.
You know what it's like to do it with Scunthorpe United, don't you?
Yeah, so it's nice for them. They've managed to pick up a couple of shirts and stuff, so hopefully this gets them interested in not just who I'm playing for anymore. We're branching out now, so we're building that bit of knowledge of football, and it's great for them just to see a different side of football, especially when they come with me.
Tell us what you're up to, where you are now.
Say again?
Tell us what you're up to, where you are now.
I'm at Barrow, so I've got another year there, and we're looking hopefully to have a real good crack at a promotion till next year.
I had to ask that because I had an absolute mind blank for a second. I knew when I was coming up, and where you just got, I'm live now and I've got to remember, so I'm glad you bailed me out on that one. It's an interesting one up there, isn't it, but at Barrow as well, given the distance and everything as well.
Yeah, it's certainly a unique club in the way it's run and everything, but it's a hard-working town. They know who they are, they know the type of players and style of football they want, so it's pretty similar to Scunthorpe in many ways, but it's certainly unique, but I think that's part of the enjoyment that you get. It's a little bit of a change from the norm, and for most people who've been involved in football for a long time, and that structure and how things are very regimented, a bit of a fresh perspective and a bit of a different look at it is it's a nice change.
Final one back to this, are they going to see it out?
I predicted 2-0 before the game, so I'm still on for that, fingers crossed. Just don't want to tell the kids that, because I've had so many questions already. It's been a nightmare.
It's really good to see you catch up, and we'll talk to you again soon, don't we?
Top man, to see you.
There we are, Niall Canavan with us. The fans they're all just relaxed at the moment, but it's going to be a tense, nervous 45 minutes, I would imagine. Jim, back to you.
Indeed, yeah. If it's nervous for a player and a current professional player, what's it like for the fans to my left-hand side in the Donny Road end, where the terracing is, all the chance to stand and watch this game with a lot of nervous energy, no doubt. Mike White talking to Niall Canavan, a former Scunthorpe United player. How can the present players of Scunthorpe United do in the next 45 minutes? We'll find out shortly.
Kofi Smiles at breakfast.
I remember walking around Princess Quay with my mates coming in on a Saturday. Next to the escalators that went downstairs was Jean, the Bee Lady Bishop, in a bee costume with her pot there, and we'd always give her some change if we could. Happy Bee Lady Day, and we are buzzing for it. When you hear the name Jean, the Bee Lady Bishop, what does that mean to you?
It reminds me of my childhood, to be honest.
The city's icon, people's champion.
What makes her an icon in your eyes?
The outfit.
Happiness, joy and hope.
This is brilliant. I just love how everybody's come together.
Kofi Smiles at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Humberside.
To get the latest on Scunthorpe United,
Click subscribe on BBC Sounds.
Waiting for the players to come out for the second half, and second half commentary from Ollie Turner and former Iron striker and promotion winner with the Iron, Steve Torpey, shortly. This isn't the only game taking place this afternoon. There is actually a full complement of Premier League action. You can have your thoughts on whether that is part of FA Cup weekend tradition or not, but certainly there are 6 games in the Premier League today. The history-making one, the end of Goodison Park, certainly for Everton's men's side, and the Everton men signing off with a 2-0 victory this afternoon. It was the lunchtime kickoff, and the goals coming from Ndai, writing his name in Everton folklore and history forever and a day now as the last goal scorer for Everton at Goodison Park. In the games more or less reaching a conclusion now, actually. West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Their hopes of the Champions League spots reignited. Nottingham Forest with that 2-1 win against West Ham. Jared Bowen, the former Hull City player, scoring for the Hammers, following on from goals for Forest from Gibbs White and Milinkovic. Brentford 2, Fulham 3 is a confirmed full time. Brentford's goals coming from Malumbu and Johan Wisser, but the Fulham goals from Jimenez, the former Hull City midfielder Tom Kearney, and former Hull City loanee Harry Wilson. Headlines tonight no doubt will be of Jamie Vardy, because he has got his 200th goal for Leicester City. He's done it at home as well. Leicester have seen off Ipswich Town by 2-0. Jamie Vardy opening the scoring after 28 minutes. Again, a history maker. And the current game currently in play, half an hour gone at the Emirates. It's Arsenal 0, Newcastle United 0. Let's hear from one of the players involved this afternoon. Will Evans has become a mainstay in the Scunthorpe United back four in the last few months. The defender did, however, spend over 2 months out of the starting 11 up until mid-February. The centre-back's been talking to Ollie Turner about how he found that spell out of the Scunthorpe United side.
I obviously was very frustrated at the time, but I can't fault, obviously, Boise or Max or Brad as well at the time. They're three very good players, and like I said, I think we could have all done a job, and we would have all given our 100%. That's the kind of characters we had or have. But no, obviously it was very frustrating, and yeah, I'm glad I came back in, and I've hopefully proved people why I'm in the starting 11 now consistently.
Did you feel you had to prove a few people wrong then when you came back in?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, because you do see things obviously maybe on social media, or you feel a bit self-doubt, should I say. You wonder why you're not playing and things like that. So yeah, more of a personal thing as well. Like, I think the frustrating thing was, I was saying to the gaffer, obviously, when I was banging on his door and things like that, I'm sat watching that. I feel like teams that we played against, like I could have played in those teams. I'm not suggesting that I should have played ahead of Boise or Max. I'm saying like that I'm playing against, I'm sat there watching teams that I'm like, I could play in that team. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that side of it was frustrating from my point of view, but it was one of those things, one of those situations I found myself in. Luckily I haven't been in them many situations like that in my career, but yeah, it was obviously good to come back in, and I felt good when I came back in.
When you had that brief period banging on Andy Butler's door, did you ask to get game time elsewhere, or did you remain patient during that period?
Well, so I had a few contacts from a few different clubs. Obviously our old friend Jimmy contacted me. I had Barnett contacted me, inquiring, and to be honest with you, I said to the gaffer straight away, I didn't want to go anywhere. I felt and I feel like I've got something good here. I really like this club, the whole football club from top to bottom sort of thing. I really feel at home here, so I didn't want to move on or anything like that. I didn't, and I know myself, I was keeping myself fit, and I sort of felt like an opportunity would come along soon. Maybe took longer than I expected, but that's football. And yeah, so I was sort of glad I stuck around, and I always wanted to, but it was just, obviously there were temptations as such, should I say, from, for instance, Barnet, top of the National League, just got promoted to League Two, or were looking to get promoted to League Two, so it's a different sort of kettle of fish, should I say, but no, it was never sort of really in my thought process.
I was going to say, how much does that speak volumes about your desire to stay when, in another reality, you could be winning the National League title with Barnet and playing League Two football next season? Yeah,
that's the thing. I think that's what I want to maybe get across. Well, I'm not really an outspoken person, should I say, off the pitch. I feel like maybe I'm more vocal. I'm a lot more vocal on the pitch, but I hope people recognise like the way I play, and the commitment I do put, and the sacrifices I obviously have put in my life for the. At the end of the day, I know it's my job, but it's for the football club, and for the owners like Michelle, things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's been brilliant with me, so The gaffer's obviously played his part as well, so I like to repay them as well by trying to put in good performances.
Every game live. BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Great insight there from Will Evans, and honesty there from Will Evans talking to Ollie Turner. As both sets of teams are out for the second half, can Scunthorpe United and this set of players write history in the next 45 minutes? We're about to find out. Someone who knows all about getting promoted with Scunthorpe United, Steve Torpey, alongside Ollie Turner for what could be a history-making commentary.
Yes, James, here we go then. 45 minutes or so to decide the fate of these two clubs at the end of the National League North season. At the moment, it's Scunthorpe United in pole position to return to the National League after a 2-year absence. They lead Chester by 1-0 heading into this second half, thanks to Danny Whitehall. We're ready to get underway. Scunthorpe United will be attacking from right to left in this second period in their traditional claret and blue striped shirts, blue shorts with claret trim and blue socks, attacking towards the Donny Road end to our left hand side. Chester in their third kit, the very dark blue shirts, shorts and socks with light blue trim, and we're back underway. No changes from either side at half time, and while a free kick has been given, let's tell you about the iron lineup. Fitzsimon's in goal, Starbuck, Coogan, Evans and Kelly in defence, Rowley and Clunan the captain in central midfield, Ubazonu and Denton on the flanks, Whitehall and Beeston up front as the iron are on the attack here. Beeston, 1-2 between Whitehall and Denton. Whitehall just about gets there before it trickles over the byline. Cross in first time from Michael Kelly. Header away by Tom Leake, falls to Clunan on the half volley, and it's headed over the bar by Harrison Burke, out for a corner.
Yeah, just sat nicely for Clunan there, just popped up, just adjusted his feet really well, let it drop here with his laces, right foot, caught a slight deflection. I don't know if it was going in, but definitely was going on target, but resulted in a corner for Scunthorpe. Great start to the second half.
The iron substitutes: Boyce, Campbell, Fishburn, Brogan, Scales, Law and Federa. We'll get to the Chester lineup in a moment. Can you imagine Michael Clunan scoring his first goal of the season, his first since March last year in the playoff final? What a moment that would be. He's over the corner kick from the left, right-footed, swings it in towards the back post, leaping header away by Burke, bounces once, Kelly will nod it on, Evans attempts the back heel, a back heel of a central defender there. Chester onto it first, they will clear their lines through Woodthorpe. Starbuck there, doesn't get enough on his clearance away, and it falls to Connor Woods here, rampaging forward. Across comes Starbuck, makes amends and lashes that straight into touch for a Chester throw. The Seals lineup, by the way: Storer the goalkeeper, Roberts, Burke, Leake and Woodthorpe the back four, Weeks the captain, Bainbridge and Murray in midfield, Motley, Henry and Woods on the flanks with Pearce through the middle, Rawlinson, Willoughby, Lambert, Brown, O'Kane, Burgess and Mooney the substitutes. Chester try and carve out an attack again, but they've been thwarted. And Ubazonu pirouettes away from his man, tries to play in Alfie Beeston. Chester win it back, but not for long, as Starbuck thumps his clearance straight into the shins of Declan Weeks. Ubazonu will charge down a forward ball from Woodthorpe, out for a Chester throw-in.
Yeah, a little bit scruffy there. Starbuck just rushing his clearance and a little bit excited. Just need to regroup, get their shape, do what they did with the first half.
Burke. Long from the back for the visitors, trying to get Woods in behind. Starbuck covers. Coogan with the clearance on the half volley, thumps it up into the afternoon sky. Whitehall backing into Harrison Burke, and he's won the free kick. Intelligent centre forward play there. Clunan thinks about taking it quickly, he's stopped by Declan Weeks. Free kick to the iron.
Yeah, done really well, like you said. Danny Whitehall just got his body in, and you know he's like. He does rub people off the wrong way, and defenders must hate playing against him, which is a good thing, I guess, being a Scunthorpe fan. But yeah, just pulled him back and drew that foul from the defender. It is good play.
Very central position on the field, midway inside the Chester half. Interesting to see what the Iron do with this. Michael Clunan and Michael Kelly over it, left-footed and right-footed options respectively. Evans and Coogan forward from the back, Whitehall, Ubazonu and Denton on the edge of the penalty area at the moment. Beeston and Rowley about 20 yards out. some shouts of shoot from the Iron supporters. I don't think they'll do that. It's Clunan who curls it in. Evans goes to meet it, and it's Harrison Burke again who's forced to head that behind his own goal and out for another corner kick.
Yeah, just putting the space between the defensive line and the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper couldn't come because the defender was running backwards. Great ball, perfect ball really. Just wanted Will Evans just get on the end of it, but second best thing, getting a corner. Another opportunity to put this ball in. Michael Green's delivery's been excellent this first half and the start of the second half.
Really bright start to the second period for Scunthorpe United. Can they find that all-important second goal in this playoff final? Clunan with the corner, another right-footed effort towards the back post. Burke there defending again. He's got his head on to every ball. Some important interventions from him, and now Chester will try and counter-attack. Ewan Murray skips past Joe Starbuck, but Denton is back there to cover. Pings it back to Ross Fitzsimons, who'll boot it back up the park. Whitehall heads it back towards the halfway line to Tyler Denton. He fires it out wide to the far side with Colton Ubazonu. Now it's Joe Starbuck. Scunthorpe United briefly operating inside Chester's half, and then they get themselves out of trouble just about with a throw as Coogan's forward pass was blocked. Iron throw on the right with Starbuck. Hurled infield to Alfie Beeston as it balloons off his right shin, but he keeps possession for his side. Michael Kelly now on the edge of the centre circle into Tyler Denton. Back to Kelly behind the halfway line. Whips it forward first time. Declan Weeks gets there first, but Alfie Beeston robs him. Slipped in behind by Denton to Whitehall. And fans not happy about that decision, but Whitehall, I think, has accepted it. The flag going up on the far side from the assistant Joshua Bramall. And it's a free kick for Chester.
Yeah, I think the fans see when he received it, he wasn't in an offside position, but when the pass was executed to him, he just strayed about 6-7 inches offside. And the linesman was, or the referee's assistant was really up with play.
A reminder, by the way, the referee is Isaac Searle, his assistant Samuel Bragg and Joshua Bramall, the fourth official Darius Bradley. Chester have the ball, hooked forward by Declan Weeks. Will Evans is there to clear. Ball at the moment in the centre circle. It's picked up by Bainbridge. Looks over his shoulder to see where Ubazonu is coming from. Kevin Roberts slices the ball forward. It's flicked on by Motley Henry. Kelly is there and fairly comfortably clears away from inside his own half. Chester have possession back in midfield. Shouts of handball, but play continues. Over to the left here to Nathan Woodthorpe, trying to surge away from Colton Ubazonu, still going down the left-hand side, but runs into Joe Starbuck. That's a lovely sidestep from Joe Rody. Gets his side on the front foot. Has Whitehall stayed offside here as the ball's pinged forward? No, he hasn't. Flag goes up again. Free kick to Chester.
Yeah, and again, he was offside. He was probably a yard offside, but that's when you use the halfway line as a strike. You always be told, just stay the right side of the halfway line, because they squeezed so high there, Chester. Just delayed your run. He had plenty of space to bomb in behind and just delay it. Just went a little bit early, Danny Whitehall, and just straight offside, I'm afraid.
So, Chester's turn to have possession. 1-2 between Tom Leake and Declan Weeks. It's Leake with a right-footed long ball forward, which Coogan meets, but Joe Starbuck has miscontrolled that and has gifted possession back to Chester. Woods into Ewan Murray, skips away from Joe Rowley, 30 yards from goal, out on the left, into Connor Woods, trying to get the ball onto one of his 2 feet to shoot, onto his right foot, does shoot, deflected out of play by Maxim Coogan for a corner.
Yeah, a lot of time there. Woods, he kind of played the ball onto his left, then his right left, and then back onto his right, tried a curling shot, caught a deflection, went out for a corner. Scunthorpe need to be a little bit careful here. They've been a little bit threatening from set pieces, Chester, and this is another opportunity to put the ball in the box.
Loads of tape and toilet roll inside the 6-yard area that's been removed by Tom Pearce and Michael Kelly. They've thrown it into the goal mouth. Corner for the Seals. Declan Weeks, the captain, over it from the right hand side. Those visiting players lined up again to attack this set piece. It's whipped in by Weeks. Whitehall back there defending, heads it away. Chester recycle possession. Weeks with another crossing, right-footed towards the back post. Hit on the half volley by Pearce. Beeston will head that out of his own box. It drops to Connor Woods, left-hand side the penalty area. Now it's Motley Henry with the shot. Can't keep it down, and it's over the bar.
Yeah, done well, Motley Henry. Just opened his body up, but weren't really in control. As he shot, he's leaning back, got under the ball, tried to curl it. It went 6 or 7 foot over the crossbar and wide. But again, a little bit of pressure from Scunthorpe defence, and that's what they've done really well. They've not given Chester any time on the ball. There's always been constant pressure from them.
Scunthorpe United play out short from their goal kick and then long. It's a nice header back from Alfie Beeston to Tyler Denton, who goes over the top. Beeston chases it down and exerts enough pressure on Harrison Burke to force the throw in for the Iron. Be taken right down below us by Michael Kelly from the left in front of the West stand. Midway inside the Chester half, Kelly finds Beeston, hits it first time. Nice idea, but just couldn't get the direction on the shot, and it's well wide of Chester's left-hand post.
Yeah, good improvisation there. Kelly's throwing it down Beeston's left shoulder, and he's just tried to pivot and swing around and catch it with his laces, but just didn't let it come around enough. Probably weren't enough power or weight on the throw to actually give Alfie Beeston the better opportunity there. But good improvisation and a good half an opportunity, I would say.
Ball's hanging up in the air again. It's nodded up into the air by Woodthorpe. Denton heads it back into the Chester half. Shouts of handball as Kevin Roberts brings it under control with his shoulder and then skips away from Tyler Denton. Into Weeks, has done well to wriggle out of that particular Scunthorpe United sandwich. Now Murray plays it into Connor Woods, left hand side of the penalty area. Overlapping run from Woodthorpe. Played across the box. Pearce with the shot. Blocked, and it'll be cleared away by Joe Starbuck on the half volley. Chester getting closer with almost 10 minutes gone inside the second half, and Scunthorpe United are getting deeper and deeper. Seals back on the ball with Bainbridge. Now it's Burke, edge of the centre circle, played into Weeks. Weeks was going to fire that over the top as Bainbridge feinted to duck underneath it, but goes short to Ewan Murray. Now it's Woodthorpe on the left-hand side, curling delivery straight into the gloves of Ross Fitzsimons. 10 minutes gone at the start of this second half. Scunthorpe United holding on to that 1-0 lead against Chester.
Yeah, it was good play from Will Evans. Just sense of danger just prior to that opportunity, that ball coming in the box. That Fitzsimon's got the control of it now, but just sense of danger. Will Evans went and pressed, put the block on, eventually cleared the danger. But yeah, Chester have to go for it at some stage. Hopefully that can leave the door open for Scunthorpe to maybe get this second goal. Nice
1-2 between Denton and Beeston again. Denton is forced wide, tries to fire in the first time cross, blocked by Burke, who comes out from the heart of defence to charge down that cross. Out for a throw. At least Scunthorpe United are camped high up the park in this particular passage of the game, right by the left-hand corner flag, as the likes of Andrew Boyce, Kean Scales and Jason Law continue their warm-ups. Kelly over the throw-in. Short to Denton, who chests it back to Kelly, hits it into the box on the half volley. Burke heads it out of his own penalty area again. It'll fall to Beeston, who's dispossessed, has his pocket picked by Harrison Weeks. Will Evans is alert to that, Declan Weeks rather, and stopped Tom Pearce from getting onto the loose ball. Shepherds it back to Ross Fitzsimons, who boots it into touch.
Yeah, good defending by Evans. You can see he really got the bit between his teeth, nice and aggressive. That anticipation the Scunthorpe seem to have all over the pitch. They're on their front foot, and they look relatively comfortable without putting a kiss of death on them. They are in a comfortable position, with Chester not really offering too much of a threat up front.
Burke, another diagonal, has got Woodthorpe in behind here, left wing, pulls it back. Woods is free in the penalty area. Brilliant sliding block there from Maxime Coogan. Attack still alive. No, it isn't, because the offside flag is up. Free kick.
Yeah, no, I guess that's the issue with Ubazuni. He's not going to offer those defensive duties, and he's more of an attacking player. He's more of a forward player, let alone a midfield, and that's his position at the moment. He's playing that right midfield. He's filling the gap, so he needs to think and consider his defensive duties as that game goes on. He's probably getting a little bit fatigued up and down that right hand side. And there is options off the bench for Scunthorpe, but at the moment he just needs to err on the side of caution, play more probably defensively than attackingly.
Fitzsimons, free kick. There's a bit of a wrestling match between Harrison Burke and Danny Whitehall. Whitehall looks to the referee half-heartedly. He doesn't give anything. Scunthorpe United have the ball back. They're forced back to their goalkeeper, Ross Fitzsimons. There is just enough on that back pass for Fitzsimons to smash it straight out of play and straight out of Glanford Park as well. Had to take evasive action there with Tom Pearce closing in. Chester throw. The Seals definitely in the ascendancy now as we head towards the hour mark. Weeks over the top. Evans watches that come down like a hawk and heads it out of play for a throw. The visitors edge themselves further forward down the right-hand side. Roberts with the throw. Kevin Roberts, that is. 1-2 between him and Declan Weeks. And here is Weeks on the ball again. Roberts is caught late by Denton, having exchanged that 1-2. And it's another cheap free kick to give away from the right.
Yeah, I just see John Schofield having a word with Obasono there, just to tell him to drop in. I think he wants to play higher up, but he does have to drop into those little pockets in between the full-back and the wide left player.
Again, another free kick for Chester from the right. Declan Weeks over it again. Tyler Denton once more the one-man wall. Scunthorpe United forced back into their own penalty area in terms of their defensive line as it's swept in by Weeks. No Chester player able to get a touch onto the ball. It drops to Whitehall, who will leather that clear. Tries to get Ubazonu on the run, but no direction on that long ball forward, and it will bounce out of play for a Chester throw.
Yeah, Andy Butler's getting them, trying to get his team up the pitch, trying to keep that compactness and no gaps in between the units. But they put a hell of a shift in so far. They've still got at least 30 minutes to go to the second half. It's no way a done deal yet.
Burke, long from the back, again from right to left. Starbuck has missed it. Woods is getting the better of him at the moment in this second half. One-on-one with the right back is Woods. From the byline, just tried to cut it back onto his right foot, and that allowed Joe Rowley into clear to smash it into the east stand opposite us, and out for a throw for Chester, level with the penalty area on the left. It's taken quickly by Woodthorpe. Back to him from Connor Woods. Woodthorpe has slightly fluffed that cross, but Scunthorpe United getting into a mix-up, and it's a penalty. Michael Clunan and Will Evans going for the same ball, and I think Will Evans has handled it as he's got it out of his own box, and Chester have the chance to equalise from the penalty spot.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just a ball lumped into. Sometimes Will Evans just has to let Michael Clunan deal with that header and let him clear it. He's kind of giving him a late shout. He tried to duck out, and they hit Will Evans on the arm. I think it was, poor decision, and one that could be prove so costly for Scunthorpe.
We've seen Ross Fitzsimons, we've firstly seen him get a yellow card, because as soon as that penalty was awarded, he came all the way over to the technical area to talk to Andy Butler and the fourth official. Wonder if he was maybe getting instructions about the penalty taker. Ross Fitzsimons going into the book then. We've seen the Scunthorpe United shot stopper save a penalty here in the dying embers of a goalless draw at home to Radcliffe back in November. Boy, do they need him to keep this one out. It's going to be Connor Woods, the January signing. Would have been involved in a relegation battle at Warrington Town had he not made the move to Chester earlier this season. Now he's got the chance to score from the penalty spot in the National League North playoff final. Places the ball down on the spot, steadies himself, takes a big inhale of breath, trying to gain any kind of composure that he can as we wait for Woods to step back from the ball. Referee has blown his whistle. It's Connor Woods against Ross Fitzsimons. Woods tucks it away into the bottom left-hand corner, sends Ross Fitzsimons the wrong way, and Chester are on level terms in this National League North playoff final. They square it up from the spot through January signing Connor Woods, and into the final half hour of normal time in this National League North playoff final. It's Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1.
Yeah, it'd be really disappointing from Andy Butler and Will Evans in particular. He's been fantastic this last 2-3 months of the season. Just over eagerness to head the ball, and sometimes you just got to rely on your other players in front of you to deal with that. And Michael Clunan, there was no pressure around him, and that was a thing. There was no Chester players within probably 2 or 3 metres. It's just that decision, and I'd like to see a replay of that, because no handballs, but there was no intention there. It's just hit him on the hand, but this day and age it is a penalty, I'm afraid.
Referee was right in front of it, to be fair. He was looking straight at it.
Yeah, it is. If it caught his arm and it's in an unnatural position, which you could argue it is, and there were no complaints from the players, so it's just got to deal with that. And fight back. They've done really well. Chester have had a good 5-6 minute spell there. Apart from that, Scunthorpe have controlled the game.
Delay to the game restarting here, I think partly due to fans encroaching onto the field from the south stand to our right hand side after that equaliser. A few flares being thrown onto the field as well. You can't say Chester don't deserve that equaliser. They have been the better team as this second half was wore on, and they are level in this National League North playoff final, live here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport on all frequencies as well as online via BBC Sounds. Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1, as we wait still for the game to get back underway. Isaac Searle is getting into position, the referee on the edge of the centre circle, gets the thumbs up from his fourth official, and we go on. They are trying to attack from kick-off, but it's a Chester throw.
Yeah, this is to regroup, reset and go against Scunthorpe, and I don't know if anybody will be thinking about making any changes. I think, in my opinion, at the moment, still got like 25 minutes of normal time to play, so he's got plenty of time, but see Chester on the ascendancy, the crowd, Chester fans are going mad behind the goal. Just need to calm things down a little bit. Let's just get that composure, kind of regroup, so to dominate this game again.
Roberts into Connor Woods. Chester on the attack again. Dylan Motley-Henry with the cross. It's blocked by Michael Kelly. Goes out for a corner kick here. Something needs to change from an Iron perspective, because they are the ones doing all the defensive work in this second half, and they've got another set piece to try and keep out. From the right hand side, another corner kick which will be taken by Declan Weeks from the right. Harrison Burke and Tom Leake, the cavalry, sent forward from defence. Jack Bainbridge in the box as well, along with Connor Woods, along with Dylan Motley-Henry. Tom Pearce in the 6-yard area as well, as Declan Weeks, wearing the captain's armband, places the ball down on the right-hand quadrant, ready to take this corner kick. Once more holds his left arm up into the air. Outswinger from Weeks. Denton heads away at his near post, is clattered into by Motley-Henry, gets back up onto his feet because Chester are keeping this attack alive. Weeks, another ball into the penalty area, straight into the gloves of Fitzsimons. He's going to try and launch a quick counter-attack, and indeed he does. Hammers it forward on the half volley, but doesn't get the direction on it, and it'll run through to Jimmy Storer.
Yeah, just shanked it, and we didn't see that the first half. Everything Fitzsimons hit the first half went near enough pinpoint accuracy. That's even affecting him. He shanked that total opposite direction that he was intended to go.
Starbuck hits a clearance away on the half volley. Bainbridge brings it down on the halfway line. Then it's looped over the top once more by Joe Rowley. Leak with the header clear. Almost drops to Ubazonu. Hooked over the top of Ewan Murray's head. Now the Iron do get a bit of time on the ball. Starbuck rushes his pass though, and only finds Bainbridge. Woods skips past the challenge, goes down, doesn't get anything. Scunthorpe United throw. Starbuck walks down the right-hand touchline. He's given the signal to take this throw by the referee. Down the line it goes. Woodthorpe with the header up into the air, drops to Whitehall. Hooked over the top. Denton will go and chase it down. Too much on it though, and it'll bounce through to Jimmy Storer. Rolls it out quickly, bowls it out rather, with the palm of his right hand. Chester on the ball back in defence with Harrison Burke. Now it's Bainbridge into Tom Leake. Leake now to the right hand side to Connor Woods. Woods down the line. Woodthorpe will go and chase it down. He's there first, head of Ubazonu, who is back defending and has to concede the corner kick. It's just a throw in the end actually. I thought maybe Ubazonu had got enough on the ball to knock it out for a corner, but a throw right by the left hand corner flag. Woodthorpe, you may be able to hear the Chester fans behind the goal to our right hand side in the south stand getting behind their side. Woodthorpe crosses in, it's blocked, goes out. Now it does go out for a corner kick.
Yeah, definitely swinging momentum here. Chester starting to play a little bit more football, get the ball down, move the ball forward instead of sideways that they were doing the first half. Scunthorpe was just kind of not dropping off. They're trying to press, but they're not trying to get in that kind of impact that they did have in the first half. They need to do something. Need to do something quickly.
Corner from the left. Weeks to take it. In swing, a high hanging delivery towards the back post, headed on by Burke, and it's kept out by Ross Fitzsimons. It was a looping header back towards goal from Harrison Burke, who's got 13 goals from defence this season. Ross Fitzsimons keeps it out and then goes down with absolutely no one near him. Tom Pearce gives him a shout. Referee goes to check on Fitzsimons, and the physio is going to be waved on here. There was no one within 5 or 10 yards of him here. It looks like Ross Fitzsimons clutching his right knee, perhaps.
Yeah, we've seen him go down when they've been winning, but it was just like that. He went down in slow motion. He caught the ball quite comfortably. There was no one really around him. And he's gone down. I don't think it's his knee, his right or left knee, but you don't often see that with Fitzsimons. And I can't see it being a tactical or game management, or maybe it is just to relieve a little bit of tension that's been building and a little bit of momentum from Chester. Just give them time to regroup, maybe. If it is, for me, that's good goalkeeping.
Well, Mason Campbell's not warming up, which I think maybe tells you all you need to know. Steve, can I ask you a question about this? Is this cheating? Teams always do it nowadays. Is it within the spirit of the game to go down having not actually suffered an injury?
Well, it's part of the game, isn't it?
Just to delay and get a team talking to regroup. Is that... I'm saying it in general because we see all teams do it nowadays.
Yeah, if that's the way it is, and teams are doing it, and it starts from the top teams, isn't it? The Premiership teams, and it filters all the way down to the lower leagues. If it's part of it and you get away with it, people and players will always push boundaries. And he's back on his feet, Fitzsimons, as if nothing's happened. He's having a nice drink of Lucasade. Other sports drinks are available before you say it.
Mason Campbell is now warming up, I think, well after the fact, well after the horse has bolted, let's say. I don't know, it's something that the game has difficulty cutting out, because you can't force the goalkeeper off and make him wait 30 seconds to come back on after being treated for an injury, and it just allows managers to stop the game as they wish to regroup.
Yeah,
don't know. Needs sorting out somehow.
It does. I totally agree. But it's part of the game. As soon as this rule was introduced, people will find ways to manipulate it.
20 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this second half. Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1 in the National League North playoff final, live here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. And now you can hear the roar from the Donny Road end to our left-hand side. It has been quite quiet in this second half from a Scunthorpe United perspective, and now more than ever the Iron players need the fans to get behind them. They've got a throw-in, have the hosts. Midway inside the Chester half on the right, Joe Starbuck is going to go in long again from that right-hand side. Coogan and Evans up from the back, beasting. Starbuck with a short run-up, hurls it in. Whitehall with a flick on, drops to Ubazonu, deflected straight into the gloves of Jimmy Storer.
Yeah, again, that long throw causing Chester some difficulties. First contact, Ubazunu done really well, controlled it, just swiveled onto his left foot, pulled the trigger, didn't get a great deal of power, but would have had enough to hit the target, and it kind of deflected, which took more of the power out and ended up in the goalkeeper's hands. But good signs, opportunity, a shot on target.
Burke, let's get an update from Mike White.
Well, the official line just spoke to Kieran, the physio. The official line at Scunthorpe United are just penalised. I'll come back to you, Ollie, because there's something to call there.
Yes, indeed. There was a tangle between Michael Kelly and Dylan Motley-Henry, and then something has happened off the ball, and Motley-Henry is clutching the back of his head at the moment. It was right in view of the assistant referee, Samuel Bragg, and Isaac Searle is going to talk to his assistant about what happened there. Motley-Henry rubbing the back of his head at the moment, and it's a yellow card for Michael Kelly. We said it in the first half after that Carlton Ubazonu incident. Scunthorpe United's players can't afford to lose their heads, even more so now with the game level.
Yeah, I think that was poor from Dylan Motley-Henry. He kind of, I see it, the foul, initial foul, and then he's walked into Tyler Denton, and it's just a little tiny shove, and he's gone down as if he's been shot. Really, really poor play, trying to get players sent off.
We'll go back to Mike in a moment, but let's see how this free kick pans out from a Chester perspective. From the right-hand side again with Declan Weeks, one-man wall of Tyler Denton. Chester fans not happy about something behind the goal. I think they feel that Tyler Denton isn't the full 10 yards, and the referee agrees about that, and it's a yellow card for Tyler Denton. Referee's marching over to where the ball is placed for this free kick, and now he's going to march out the full 10 yards. And I don't think that's too far away from where Tyler Denton was originally, if I'm being totally honest. But there we go. I'm not sure that was worth a booking. Free kick. I think this is a bit like Hull City fans behind the goal at the MKM when they feel the ball's not properly on the quadrant. They get the ref to check. Weeks, right-footed, high-hanging ball towards the back post. Header on by Bainbridge. Shouts of handball from behind the goal. Nothing given as it's kept out. Looped back into the box again. Can Pearce bring it under control? Right-hand side of the penalty area, he can. Weeks is there in support, but Pearce loses it, and Denton will smash it out for a throw to Scunthorpe United.
Yeah, again, under the cosh, Scunthorpe need to just kind of calm it down. There's sustained pressure. They look really nervous, Scunthorpe, all of a sudden over the last 10-15 minutes just before that goal went in. Just need to get their composure, get back into this game.
Throw for Chester, almost level with the Iron 6-yard area. They go short from the right. Kevin Roberts to Declan Weeks, digs out the cross, right-footed. Rowley is there in front of his marker to head away, but not too far though, but he got a shove in the back in the process, and he gets the free kick. Steve Torpey, for me, I think Scunthorpe United look, I hate saying this, they look out of ideas.
Yeah, they are. They've not really had an attempt on goal. They've been playing in their own defensive half of the pitch for at least 10 minutes before they score, Chester.
Evans, long over the top, finally gets that ball away. Chester down nicely by Whitehall. Was he pulled back? Yes, he was. Free kick, and then there's more incidents happening off the ball as Joe Rowley goes over. I have quite a large amount of sympathy here for Isaac Serling, having to try and officiate this game with so much happening. He's given the free kick for the first instant as Whitehall was pulled over. I don't think there'll be any repercussions for what followed as Joe Rowley went tumbling. But a free kick here in a dangerous position. Wouldn't Scunthorpe United wish they had Callum Roberts for a set piece in this area of the field. It's 25 yards out, left of centre. We've seen Danny Whitehall score from here before a very long time ago. August 2023, I think it was, at the other end here at Glanford Park against Darlington. But he's the lone man over this set piece now. The Chester wall walked back into their own box by the ref. Tyler Denton is jumping up and down in front of Jimmy Storer, the Chester goalkeeper, inside his 6-yard area, waving his arms up into the air, trying to put the shot stopper off. And now Denton sticking around as long as possible before drifting away, and will join up as part of that congregation around the wall. Whitehall then waits for the whistle. Over this free kick, gets it. Danny Whitehall, right-footed over the wall, hits the post, and the rebound goes over the bar from Colton Ubazonu. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I had the goalkeeper beat all hands down. He didn't even move, the goalkeeper, just stood on the spot and just watched it come off the inside of the post. He come back over at a real ferocious rate, and he couldn't adjust his feet to put it in, and he's hit it high and wide. But God, yeah, it's all about inches and millimetres. That was millimetres.
Storer's goal kick. Kelly with the header away, up into the air. Beeston will go and challenge for it, but it falls to Ewan Murray, who's much the smaller of the two players. Kevin Roberts. Dink down the right-hand side. A combination of Kelly and Clunan force it out of play for a throw, which is taken quickly by Roberts. Murray, now Weeks, loses the ball, is dispossessed. Beeston, though, trying to wriggle free of 2 or 3 Chester players. Knocks it back to Clunan, who just has to flick that out of play. And Denton can't keep it alive. It's a Chester throw-in. Kevin Roberts to take the throw. Midway inside the Scunthorpe United half on the right. Roberts into Bainbridge. Floated forward. Down the right-hand side, Motley Henry will leave it to bounce out for a goal kick to Scunthorpe United. Let's get that update now, pitch side from Mike White.
Well, the official line regarding Ross Fitzsimons was it just felt something in his calf, but he'll be okay as it stands. He's about to take a goal kick, seems to be fine. You're right, what you're saying about the ideas at the moment, they do seem to be lacking something that's going to try and break this Chester side down and look the stronger side. John Schofield and Andy Butler having long conversations at the moment to see if they can work something out.
Scunthorpe United attack goes awry as Ubazonu tries to play in Danny Whitehall, and now Chester on the attack. Not for long though. Will Evans just about does enough to get a final touch off of Tom Pearce to get a throw.
Yeah, Ubazonu looks like he's come more central, and maybe Alfie Beeston slightly wilder. Joe Rowley playing that kind of wider right area. Ubazonu's definitely come in from the right hand side and linking up with Danny Whitehall a little bit. That's where that kind of free kick come from a few minutes ago.
Steve, nearly 79 minutes gone, no substitutions from either side.
And now I think teams, I think you would be as a manager a little bit wary who's going to show their hand first, who's going to really go for it. Oh, it's going to be kind of an edgy affair, and you don't really want to make that decision, because if it doesn't go right for you, then you leave yourself open to criticism. But they've got enough experience on that bench, John Schofield and Andy Butler, to make these calls. But he has changed it. Ubazonu's gone central. They're playing like a 4-4-2. Alfie Beeston just behind the front two, but Ubazonu definitely more central now. But again, now it looks like he's playing back out on the right hand side out of possession. So I don't know. Say you're looking at 5-10 yards, little bits of movement that changes the shape of the team.
Chester on the ball. First time pass forward from Nathan Woodthorpe, finds Ewan Murray as Max Brogan begins warming up beneath us. Woodthorpe clip down the left hand side, wayward pass though, out for a throw into the final 10 minutes of normal time here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Who blinks next in this National League North playoff final? It's Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1, and you can hear all of the closing stages live here on all frequencies, as well as online via BBC Sounds on the website and on the app. Maxime Coogan forced backwards, heavy first touch from him, gives away the throw. Chester force themselves forward down the left hand side. Connor Woods will take the throw, the goal scorer. Scored the equaliser from the penalty spot in the 63rd minute, cancelling out Danny Whitehall's opener. Cross in from deep. Pearce will get there first on the dead ball line. Shot! Over the bar. Good bit of forward play there from Tom Pearce to keep that attack alive. Just burst onto his right foot, but couldn't keep his effort down, and it flies over.
Yeah, it was good play. Maxime Coogan needs to do a little bit more. Just let him turn. Fronted him up. Keep your back to play. Don't let him face the goal. He managed to do that. Pulled it back onto his right foot. Just curled it. Just lacked that little bit of quality and went high and wide of the post and crossbar. But a bit of a relief for Scunthorpe there.
I'm told that Cian Scales is going to be coming on in a moment. My view of him is blocked by assistant manager John Schofield giving him some instructions. But now I can see Cian Scales taking on a particular blue brand of energy drink.
Yeah, I think he may think of, I don't know, Tyler Denton and play like a diamond. He's gone for a bit of a diamond in there if you look. Mm-hmm. So Denton on the left, Joe Rowley on the right, Alfie Beeston at the point of that diamond, and Michael Clunan just holding there.
Weeks onto a ball foot first ahead of Tyler Denton, 30 yards from the Scunthorpe United goal, plays it into Dylan Motley-Henry, finds Kevin Roberts up from the back inside the penalty area. Roberts crosses blocked, it falls to Bainbridge. His effort collides into the shins of Will Evans. Now cross comes in from Weeks towards the back post. Starbuck with the header away. Chester trying to keep this attack alive, but now Scunthorpe United will counter through Joe Rowley. Has really very little support, and he just ran straight into traffic there, and Chester get possession back. Harrison Berg drives forward, marauds forward from the back into Declan Weeks, just inside the centre circle at the moment. Back to Berg. Now it's Kevin Roberts. It's going to be Michael Kelly, I believe, who will be coming off in a moment for Scunthorpe United. The number 3 is up on the fourth officials board at the moment. Shouts of handball as Ewan Murray brings a bouncing ball under control, and then is shot down from behind by Tyler Denton, who has to be careful here. He's on a yellow card. Referee doesn't look to be going towards his pocket, but Ewan Murray slapping the turf with the palm of his right hand has stayed down. Referee's going to check on him. I wonder if that may change the mindset of this Scunthorpe United substitution. And indeed it has. Andy Butler wants to delay it. They were going to bring Michael Kelly off. Andy Butler has stopped that from happening. And who are they going to bring off? They are going to bring off Tyler Denton. For once, I'm actually right about something. And now Tyler Denton will come off in place of Kean Scales.
Yeah, it just makes a little bit of sense that Scales have played probably similar in that kind of left-hand side of a diamond. If that's the way Andy Butler wants to do it, and then he's also got Mo Federa to an option. But again, do you really go for it, or do you a little bit cautious? And I think he's gone a little bit cautious there without really going for it and tidying that and securing that midfield, because they have dominated that area of the pitch in second half.
Ewan Murray is okay. He's been pulled back up onto his feet by the physio, right in front of where this free kick is being taken. The physio's got an arm round Ewan Murray's shoulder at the moment, as he just does his bootlaces up rather, from behind the right hand touchline. It's right behind where Declan Weeks is going to take this free kick from. They've all been from the right, as a couple of the Chester players, Kevin Roberts and Nathan Woodthorpe, stretch out some cramp. Kean Scales is now taking up that role of being the one-man wall. Don't think he's a full 10 yards away, but Weeks will stroke it into the box. Kelly with a booming header up into the air. Scales will nod it on out of the Scunthorpe United penalty area. It's juggled by Connor Woods, but runs straight into Alfie Beeston, who then collides with his own teammate. Woods onto it, into Motley Henry in the box, trying to get the shot away. It's still alive for Motley Henry, blocked by Michael Kelly, and that takes all of the sting out of the effort as the Iron clear their lines. Chester come again here. Woodthorpe rides the challenge from Ubazonu. Over to the left, cross comes in right-footed, evades pretty much everyone. Will it fall to Motley Henry? Yes, it will. Pulls it back to Weeks. Motley Henry again here. Stands up Michael Kelly, puts in the cross. It's blocked by Kelly. We'll get another bite of the cherry. Back to Weeks. In it goes. Whitehall with the header away. Ubazonu nods it up into the air. He's the lone man forward at the moment. It's just not sticking for Scunthorpe United as Chester go again, but that attack doesn't pan out for the visitors, and it's a goal kick with 4.5 minutes of normal time to go. And I don't think Ewan Murray's going to be able to continue here, as he's gone back down onto the turf.
Yeah, Scunthorpe really defending deep there. They literally had 11 players behind the ball in their defensive third of the pitch. Couldn't get it out of their defensive third of the pitch. Tried to hook it up the line and go long, but there was no one up there. Danny Whitehall defending in around the box, and Ubazonu as well in and around the box. They look like running out of legs a little bit. Scunthorpe look really, really tired and fatigued. I know they put a lot of effort into that first half, but well, mind you saying that, Chester's number 18, who's at Brainbridge, he's gone down, stretching his calves off. It looks like he's getting a little bit of cramp as well, because you've got to bear in mind the occasion and how that affects the body as well.
As Chester are about to make a change, Taylor O'Kane's going to come on for Ewan Murray. Let's hear more from Mike White.
Well, the Chester bench are not happy at the moment, certainly with that Tyler Denton one where he seemingly got away with it and didn't get booked before being brought off. They've exchanged a few strong words with particularly John Schofield on the Iron bench as well. The fourth officials had to step in and just tell them both to calm things down a little bit, but right now Chester not happy. But you look at the Iron bench, there looks to be some nerves and tension down there right now.
Not too surprising, there are plenty of nerves around Glanford Park as Taylor O'Kane is on. Signed in February on loan from AFC Fylde. Plenty of interest in him at the end of the August transfer window. The Coasters rejected a 6-figure bid from an EFL club in September last year for his services, and O'Kane is on for Murray. Scunthorpe United on the attack. First few touches for Kean Scales. Gets it onto his right foot, 20 yards from goal. Crosses in, chested down by Ubazonu. Lovely half volley. Straight at Storer though.
And now he's come more central, Ubazonu, and all of a sudden you're seeing him more involved in the game. This is where, you know, his natural position is. He's not a winger, he's not a wide player. There's great little control and pivot and swivel volley. Just needs a little bit of power, but I think we see a little bit more of him playing these central areas.
Kean Scales is fouled by Declan Weeks. Free kick. Tyler Denton's yellow card was the 5th from a Scunthorpe United perspective in this game. No yellow cards from a Chester perspective. Free kick for the Iron into the final 2 minutes of normal time. Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1. Ross Fitzsimons, left of centre free kick that he hoists into the Chester box right-footed. Burke with the header away, it falls to Michael Kelly, drives it to the left, chested down by Danny Whitehall, juggles it away from Tom Leake. Kelly on the ball once more, trying to pull the strings from deep, just in front of the centre circle, goes wide to the right to Joe Rowley, who's driving forward, still Rowley, 30 yards from goal, still going, Rowley! Wide, brilliant run, but the effort couldn't match it, still 1-1.
Yeah, great play, just controlled with his right foot, drived inside, lateral movement, everyone kind of dropped off Chester, and then he went past another player, just as he tried to hit with his left foot, just kind of caught the outside of his boot, didn't get the contact he would have desired, and kind of sliced it wide. But good bit of play from Joe Rowley. He's been excellent, Joe Rowley, in there, real ratting throughout the game, adaptable, moved down to this right from a central position, and just want one of those half chances to find the back of the net.
Into the final minute. Apparently there are going to be 8 minutes of additional time at the end of this second half, I'm told. We'll wait for the official confirmation from the fourth official here, Darius Bradley. Throw for Chester, bang behind the halfway line. Right hand side with Kevin Roberts, gestures with the palm of his right hand for his teammates to come short, but instead he goes along down the channel. Will Evans with the header away. It's allowed to bounce once on the halfway line. Bouncing around in there, eventually drops to Declan Weeks, who flicks that forward with the outside of his right boot. Foot race between Maxime Coogan and Tom Pears, but Ross Fitzsimons will intervene to catch that bouncing ball inside his own box. And we have played the full 90 minutes of normal time. Fitzsimons volleyed forward, Whitehall goes to contest it, drops to Kean Scales here. Scales rolls it underneath the studs of his right boot, flicked back to Ubazon, who plays it into the penalty area to Whitehall, pulls it back to Starbuck, blocked from the edge of the D by Taylor O'Kane. Has Jimmy Storer done enough to stop that from going out for a corner kick? He has.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Starbuck just kind of let it run across his body. It was a nice weighted pass for him. He just met it perfectly with his laces. It was a good block from the Chester player, but yeah, it's getting really tense here. It could go either way, this game.
8 minutes of additional time. Dan Mooney has been called over by Callum McIntyre. He's going to be coming on for Chester in a moment. Also a player with the Seals in his second spell with the club. Substitution I don't think will happen immediately, even if the fourth official has got his board ready. Dylan Motley-Henry will be coming off for Dan Mooney. Throw for Chester from the right. 1-2 between Kevin Roberts and Declan Weeks. Here is Weeks again, tries to find Dylan Motley-Henry with the forward ball. He's robbed of possession but is fouled in the process. Free kick.
Yeah, another dangerous position here, an invitation to put it into the box. That's Scunthorpe's left-hand side.
I think they'll wait to make that Dan Mooney substitution. See how this free kick pans out. Sound like a broken record here. But it's going to be taken from the right-hand side again by Declan Weeks. Kean Scales the one-man wall. Chester players ready to attack this dead ball delivery from the edge of the Scunthorpe United box. It's Weeks, whips it in. Evans again, leaps highest, heads it up into the air. Whitehall is there to clatter it away, and now Ubazonu will go and chase it down. Almost gets there first head of Woodthorpe. Woodthorpe just about does enough as he falls to the floor to flick it away from the Scunthorpe United front man. And Michael Clunan, the captain, leading from the front, pressing high up the park, chasing down Jimmy Storer, who gets the clearance away. Dylan Motley-Henry won his header from that clearance but was in an offside position, and now that Chester change will be made in the 93rd minute. It's Dan Mooney coming on, and I'm pretty sure it will be Dylan Motley-Henry to come off. Indeed it will. Steve Torpin.
Yeah, I just think, you know, what put yourself in Bandy Butler's situation. What do? Do you keep it? Do you start to have a real go at him? Consider about Mo Federa coming on this left-hand side, where as a sub he's been excellent and really caused defenders problems, or do you try and keep it nice and tight and, you know, just wait for an opportunity to arise?
From the free kick, Fitzsimons goes long. It's Burke there again who wins his header, And now Chester will try and launch an attack forward here. Weeks evades one challenge. Drives at the heart of the Scunthorpe United defence, tried to stab that in behind. Scales cuts out, and now the Iron fans urge their team forward as there's shouts of man on, and Dan Mooney almost picks Michael Kelly's pocket. He has. Mooney, one-on-one with Kelly, onto his left foot, shoots. Completely the wrong option. Dan Mooney, I think, winning the ball off of Michael Kelly, went to his head there, went to shoot, and it's high and wide and not very handsome. 1-1.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off. Kelly just in possession. He's getting his head up. He's waving his arms up as if he wants movement. He's got no awareness of the striker closing him down, actually intercepting the ball. Come on, you're in the 94th minute of the game. You haven't got time. You haven't got that amount of time to get your head up and touch in that defensive third of the pitch.
4 minutes of additional time played, 4 left to go. That is such a blatant barge in the back from Harrison Burke, right in view of the referee, and Harrison Burke goes into the book. That's silly, that, and he's given away a soft free kick.
Yeah, it's probably just out of range, shooting range. I think you're looking about 40, just short of 40 yards there, maybe 37, 38 yards, probably too far to shoot, so it will be a cross in the box. But Danny Wattles rubbing the back of his head, so he's got a bit of an elbow in there, but he's back on his feet, and can he get on the end of this free kick here?
That, by the way, is Chester's first yellow card of this playoff final. Michael Clunan over the free kick. Dan Mooney is certainly not the full 10 yards away, won't get booked for it, as he's now walked back to be almost level with the D of the Chester box. Coogan, Ubazonu, Evans, Whitehall, all in the penalty area towards the right hand side of the box. It's Clunan who floats in the free kick. Burke again, equal to everything that Scunthorpe United have thrown at him thus far, and now Chester will try and carve out a counter-attack here with Tom Pearce, brings that ball under control, plays in Dan Mooney as Scunthorpe United bodies go flooding back. Mooney, good defending by Michael Clunan, and then falls over inside his own box under no challenge, and Scales gets it away. Really important work that from Michael Clunan, one-on-one with Mooney, stood his ground, and then it's Danny Whitehall who's fouled by Kevin Roberts. That'll be a free kick.
Yeah, it was a blatant foul. Danny Whitehall. Yes.
Here comes Kean Scales, tries to burst past Kevin Roberts, is brought down. Iron fans want a yellow card, and they will get one. Kevin Roberts goes into the book.
That's good play. Scunthorpe just trying to take it quickly, couldn't get back into his position. Brought him down, Roberts, a blatant foul, and Scunthorpe on a bit of the ascendancy now. All of a sudden now getting a bit between their teeth. They've only got one more minute, or just over a minute, about 8 minutes added on time.
Is there going to be a late winner in this National League North playoff final? Is there going to be a twist in this particular tale? We shall find out with less than 90 seconds left of additional time. It's a free kick for Scunthorpe United. Michael Clunan stands over the ball. The Iron have sent bodies forward once again. One-man wall of Dan Mooney. Ubazonu, Whitehall, Coogan, Evans and Rowley all ready to attack this set piece. Scales and Beeston watch on from a distance. Clunan, it's a poor delivery, doesn't beat the first man, comfortably cleared away by Declan Weeks. They gave it the big build-up and it failed to deliver. As Michael Kelly heads that clearance out of play, or almost does, as Clunan stops it from going out for a throw. Here is Weeks. Is there a late sting? No, there isn't, because Beeston will head that diagonal ball clear. Rowley stops it from going out for a throw, but Woodthorpe is able to carry it forward. Runs into space, keeps going, slips it in down the left-hand side to Woods. Ball back to Woodthorpe, blocked by Starbuck. The loose ball falls to Kean Scales. Rides the challenge of Weeks. It's end-to-end stuff in the final minute of additional time. Scales is still going. Options left and right, and he's picked the wrong option. He's run straight into Tom Leake, and now it's Chester's turn to attack. Mooney on the halfway line, skips past Whitehall. Still going into Scunthorpe territory. Iron bodies behind the ball. Mooney runs straight into Beeston, and now it's Scunthorpe United's turn to go again. Whitehall wants support down the left, just plays it down the channel optimistically. Ubazonu nowhere near it, has forced Robertso to put that clearance into touch for a throw.
God, both teams going hammer and tongs to try and get this winner in the 98th minute. It's like waves of attack, they attack, we attack, they attack, we attack. This, well, if it goes into extra time, which is very looking like it's going to happen now, some tired legs out there.
This will surely be the last action of normal time. What can Scunthorpe United do from the throw? Kelly down the line looking for Whitehall. Roberts will head that into touch, and he got contact. He suffered a blow to the back of his head. It's a free kick, and that may well be that for normal time. Yellow card for Danny Whitehall as well.
Yeah, I think that must be time now. Again, they just need to regroup, get their gels down them, and can they get that extra little bit of energy for this remaining 30 minutes? It's looking likely going to be played, but both teams have given everything out there. You know, you can't fault both teams' effort. A little bit of quality on occasions, but both teams going hammer and tongs at each other, and it's been a real entertaining game.
Storer taking all the time in the world to place the ball down, ready to take this free kick. I think he knows that as soon as he hits it, the whistle is going to go for full time to mark the end of normal time. But no, still we go on. As Evans is caught on the hop here, and Pearce has got him behind, but just a heavy touch. Carries that ball behind the byline and out for a goal kick, and that is that. We are heading for extra time in this National League North playoff final to decide who will be in the National League next season. It finishes 1-1 after normal time. Danny Whitehall had opened the scoring for the hosts in the 20th minute, but that goal cancelled out from the penalty spot. Will Evans giving the penalty away for handball, and it was Connor Woods who sent Ross Fitzsimons the wrong way, tucking the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. Into extra time we go in this National League North playoff final. It's Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 1.
BBC Radio Humberside Sport. It is Humberside Sport Live. We'll try and go down to Mike shortly. Steve Torpey, is this kind of almost illustrative of the season, that things have been in Scunthorpe United's hands and then they've just conspired to perhaps not do enough?
Yeah, I think it'd be really disappointed with the penalty, because you know, it weren't of Chester's making really. It was their own undoing. This kind of balls up in the air. It was on Michael Clunan's head. All he had to do was head it away, and Will Evans felt like he wanted to do his job. Just give him the responsibility to clear the lines, and they got confused, and it ended up hitting Will Evans on the arm, and it was a penalty, which is, you know, is really disappointing, because I think they've done enough to win the game, especially in the first half. Chester have been excellent second half, mind, and they've come out with a bit between their teeth. And in the last 10 minutes it could have gone either way. Waves of attack, both teams really going for it. There's a few players out there getting massages and gels and drinks. You know, just can we have that little bit of brilliance or mistake? Can Scunthorpe get over the line? But it could go either way.
Yeah, both sets of players are in their respective huddles. The Chester players are doing a sort of circle, getting their arms around each other in a proper kind of huddle, a little bit more sort of disjointed from the Scunthorpe United huddle perspective. Let's go down to pitch side. Mike White is there.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's just two different feelings among the two camps at the moment. Chester almost in sort of fighting mode with that circle. Some of the Scunthorpe United players are down. A couple of them, Whitehall has just been getting his legs worked on. Michael Clunan, now the Iron are going to do the exact same thing and rally round together, but there just does look to be a few tired legs in there. Chester seem to be the more sprightly side as that half wore on, and yeah, you just wonder. I was looking at Ollie and Torps, maybe for you, I was looking at Will Evans, thinking he was really starting to look leggy as that second